Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a very far away McDonCast, because they're way over there this time.
Further than normal.
They're way all the way over, like 2 more feet away than usual.
Eventually, they'll just be gone, and we'll just be two.
That would actually be awesome if we did a podcast, but it was like the audio was still fine, but like the video was like we were like 100 meters away in like a cornfield somewhere. And it was just like you could barely see
shot
us.
of an empty field.
No, like we were still in it. You could kind of see us moving a little bit, but like not really.
So it's like Where's Waldo, and you have the full length of the podcast to figure out where in the shot we are.
Yeah, I mean, no, you could see us. We'd be in the middle of the frame. We'd just be too small to make out any details.
You just want to shoot a podcast, but the camera's really far away for no reason.
Yeah, that'd be funny. We could call it the Really Far Away Podcast. That'd be the name of the show.
These are the brilliant ideas that have made our company a multi-million-dollar brand.
Hey, without these ideas, we wouldn't be where we are today.
That's right. This whiteboard would say something different on it.
What does the whiteboard even say?
The Super Bowl.
Oh, you can't see that, but there's a
see
whiteboard there that says
We're
Super
recording
Bowl.
this because yesterday was the big game.
The big one.
As they
Oh, wait,
call
well,
it.
we already said the name
No, it's
of it.
fine. No one watches this anyway. What are they going to do?
The Super Game. Can we say Super Game?
Super Game.
Is that allowed?
The Super Game. Probably. It was pretty good. Sam watched it.
I did. It was loud.
It was loud. We went to a Super Bowl party.
About halfway through, my watch was like, if you keep staying here, you'll get permanent hearing damage. And I was like, yeah, I know.
There was a couple of big trailers to drop during the game, pretty early on in the game.
There was 2 trailers.
It's normal. In terms of the other ads, mostly very lame.
Very weird ad. A lot of weird ads this year. Well, not even weird. Just,
I don't know, just boring.
Just celebrity cameo.
Yeah.
Celebrity cameo. Hey, look, it's funny because there's a celebrity right there.
There's a couple that I thought were like, that's kind of fun. I liked the Ben Affleck Dunkin' Donuts ad.
I hate that they wanted us to like that ad.
I was fine with it.
Like, watching that ad, I could feel like, oh, they're going to love this. But dude, when he does this, it's going to be awesome.
I like those because I think Ben Affleck just directs like all of their Dunkin' Donuts ads now.
I don't know. It's just the vibes.
He always looks like he's having fun.
I mean, I'm sure he's having fun, but I don't know.
I like that one better than most of the ads, which are always
the fact that they were just like 9 random celebrities on screen, and
from
like
Boston.
half of them didn't say anything. I was like, this feels
we couldn't really hear what
I feel
they
like
were
I'm being
saying
pandered
very well
to. It feels pandery.
I mean, it's kind of, but that's every ad.
Yeah, but that's why I didn't like most of the ads.
I like
it
when they have them do a thing. Like, I hate it when they just walk out in like a suit holding a product and they're just like, yo, it's me, famous person. Buy this. Like, they did that with, like, there was like a
every
Jennifer
gambling
Aniston ad for Uber Eats. That was just that. There was the Michael Cera did a CeraVe ad. Like, that's most of them now. Ice Spice did a Sierra Mist commercial.
Every gambling ad was just like, guy in suit. Wouldn't it be cool if you lost your life savings? Come lose your life savings on our app. And that was the ad.
I think everyone is a big fan of the fact that there were several Temu commercials.
There were 3 Temu commercials.
4.
No, there were 3 that were like during.
Mm-hmm.
There was a 4th one after the game.
In the overtime, which I think the ads on that are cheaper. I think the ads in overtime are the same ads from the pregame show, and they just like recycle
they loop them.
But anyway, Sam, you want to give us a brief rundown of what we're going to talk about?
Let me
on the
give you
show?
guys a brief rundown. I'm eating a hamburger right now. All right. We got big news from Disney. Disney announced a billion things because they got to convince their investors to keep giving them money.
Yep.
Xbox might be going the way of the dodo. No more Xbox. Coyote versus Acme movie is dead again somehow. The movie that just won't die, but also won't live either.
Yep.
David Leitch. That's an unfortunate name. Left Jurassic World because that's honest. I mean, why was he there to begin with?
The park.
And then we gotta talk about a bunch of Super Bowl trailers.
Let's start off with those trailers. Sam, do you want to do the biggest one first or the biggest one?
Let's do the biggest one last because I feel like that's the only one we're gonna have anything interesting to talk about.
There was 2 spots that dropped during the pregame show. Those were for the Fall Guy and If.
Yeah, I don't care about the Fall Guy or
not
If.
really. I don't think we need to pull them up. Not really anything we haven't seen before. The Fall Guy looks kind of fun.
Yeah,
It looks like a movie from 1994.
It's a mom movie.
Yeah. Looks like it could be a fun
We haven't had a good mom movie in a little while.
Blockbuster. If looks annoying, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be bad.
Oh no, If is an Apple TV movie for sure.
Yeah,
it's
a
movie
weird,
that
it wasn't made by Apple.
No, but it was. They secretly made it. It's like how Disney secretly makes every DreamWorks movie. It's just like that.
I know John Krasinski has kids and stuff, but I find this like as a weird passion project.
This seems like his version of Shark Boy and Lava Girl. This is the John Krasinski Shark Boy and Lava Girl, where it was like an idea that his kid probably said, and then he was like, "Oh, that would be a fun movie."
Yeah.
And then he made it, and he was like, "Well, this isn't as good as I thought it would be, but it's good enough. So here you go."
It's such like it's not even a unique premise. Like this has been done before.
Yeah, it was called Foster's Home for Imaginary,
it was on Cartoon
whatever they
for
were.
years.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's odd. Okay, big boy trailers. There was a full trailer for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Yes.
Which I was kind of surprised by, because spots this year were like $8 million for 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
I was not thinking Disney would shell out $8 million for Planet of the Apes.
Well, not only did they have a trailer in the movie, or in the game, like just during when the ads are, but they had like a name call out. Like this game is brought to you by this company, except for it was Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which not only was weird because like that's insane for it to be like a title sponsor.
Yeah.
And then also, I don't think I've ever seen a movie be a title sponsor for a game.
Yeah, it's happened before.
Like when?
The Dune Part 2 was like the sponsor of the AFC and NFC.
Oh, it was?
Yeah. You didn't watch them, so you don't watch.
No,
football.
I watched of them.
But this is odd. I'm not quite sure about this Apes. It seems all of the poor people who are like really passionate about doing these, they finished their trilogy and left, and so this is just kind of like the guys who are left in the office building just kind of came up with another idea.
I could not care less about the Apes franchise. It is a franchise that is like barely creative, like just to begin with.
There's so many of them too. They've been going for a long time.
Like some guy in the 80s really went.
It was before.
What if human fight? And then that was like, that's where the idea peaked. That was it. That was the end of the idea.
I was looking into it because I was like, this franchise can't be very big, right? And the last one made like $400 million. And the first one in the trilogy made like $400 million.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, this is kind of crazy to spend this amount of money on it. And then I looked at Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which is the second one. That one made like $700 million at the box office.
So they had one big boom in there.
So they're chasing that one.
They're
going to keep
the
doing
monkey
this
button until they get another.
They're going to hit the monkey button until it does that again. It's never going to do that again.
No, because
that's nuts. I don't even know why that did so well, that second one. But I mean, I guess they have I think Fox is just desperate. Like Disney is saying, Fox, you need to produce anything that makes money that isn't called Avatar. And Fox is just like, what brands do we have?
Okay, genuinely
Apes?
though, what brands does Fox have?
They're doing Apes. They have a new Alien movie coming out this year.
Alien is not a living franchise.
Alien? They have made ones recently.
Yeah, in like 2017, and it didn't even do very well.
That was still a movie.
But that's not like a franchise I would consider like.
I mean, they've made like 9 of them.
Yeah.
Because there's Alien, there's Aliens, there's Alien 3. AVP Requiem.
Okay, half of them are not even canon, and people only remember the first 2.
Alien Covenant, and this new one. And they're doing a television
Describe to me the plot of any of them except for the first 2.
I'm pretty sure. Well, AVP, Alien fights the Predator.
Yeah, why?
I believe they have a disagreement over a parking spot or something.
No, it's because in order to get their special clause, they have to kill a xenomorph.
Don't they fight like a combined Alien Predator in like the second one?
In the second one?
What happens in AVP Requiem? Also, why is it called Requiem?
Oh, I have no idea. I just know in Aliens vs. Predator, the first one.
I know at some point there's like a hybrid.
Part of the Predator lore is they have to kill a xenomorph to be like their manhood test.
I know, because the xenomorph skull is in Predator 2.
Yeah.
And that's like the whole pitch. Anyway, that's not important. But they're doing another Predator movie. They just announced that this week. Dan
And
Trachtenberg
they
is
announced it
coming
was
back.
not related to Prey, which was the good one.
Well, it's the same guy doing it, and he says it's like a follow-up in like a
spiritual
different way.
successor.
Because like they've done that before. I mean, the Predator, like Prey took place during like the Native American times.
I mean, I don't necessarily want...
So I don't know what else you could really do in that time period.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want a sequel to Prey. I'm just saying it's not.
He's saying this one's going to take place in like the near future. So that's fine.
Yeah, that is less interesting. I would have liked if they did like knights. Like medieval versus Predator.
I think it could be interesting to be like, what if Predator, but in modern times? Because the last Predator...
That's the first one.
No, but like the last modern times Predator was like Predator 2, and that was in like 85 or whatever.
Remember when they remade it in 2018?
You're thinking of Predator. Oh, that's true.
Yeah, we already did that.
I forgot about the Predator.
Everyone did.
But that one had like a boy who had like magic autism powers. So if you cut all that out...
Yeah, but they'll just do that again. Like, there's got to be a human who's like got something going.
Well, I
fight them.
If they did like a Predator shows up in like small town middle America, right? And like the town's got to figure out what to do about this Predator.
So they do Stranger Things, but it's just literally the same exact thing.
Maybe you do something here. There's not... All you can do with the Predator franchise is the Predator shows up and hunts some people.
No, but I
what else do you do?
I like the idea of doing it in like different eras. Like I think the Native American one was cool. What if it showed up in like a colony and like the colonists had to fight it off? Or like what if it showed up in like medieval Europe and like they thought it was a dragon or something and they fight it? Like there are things you could do that are like, what if one shows up in like the Edo period and ninjas fight the Predator? That'd be sick. You know, why not?
I mean, and they could just keep cranking these things out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that would be...
I don't know. You have to stop it from being like too formulaic.
Well, you have it like what you have the alien.
Because the Predator franchise has mixed it up every now and then. Like Predators was like a group of people and they were on the Predators like hunting planet. The Predator was weird and terrible. You know, they gotta mix it up occasionally. Otherwise, because if you just do like Prey, but like copy and paste and just change the names of like locations, I think it could get pretty stale.
No, you have it so that sometimes the Predator wins, and then you'd be like, does this arrow win against the Predator?
It's like Predator versus different types.
Yeah.
Just shuffle it.
Like that would be cool. That's the only thing people want to see anyway.
Just Predator fight like people with samurai swords.
Yeah. Yeah, that exactly.
But anyway, yeah, I think Fox is just like scrolling through their like wheel of brands and are just like, what on earth can we possibly get more stuff out of? And I don't know, monkey movies are big right now. We were talking about this, I think, last week.
Yeah,
monkey movies are
back.
Unless all of these monkey movies bomb.
Yeah, I mean they're making a bunch. We don't know if they're back or not. I guess.
What if they all bomb and we don't get another monkey movie for several years?
I don't really care about monkey movies.
But you don't love Big Monkey?
No, I never have.
Big Monkey? You don't even like King Kong?
He's so lame.
I love
just a big gorilla.
That's fun.
But he does not even successfully destroy anything.
That's not his goal.
He climbs up a building one time and
dies.
You
obviously don't understand King Kong.
Okay, I'm talking about like the actual actions of the character, not like what it's metaphorically about. I'm talking about what actually happens.
Yeah, he doesn't want to destroy stuff.
Yes, but like...
But you just want him to see him.
No, because in every monkey movie, the monkey's a villain. Except for, like, the first King Kong movie. But all of the other ones, the big monkey is always the bad guy.
Okay, one. What's another big monkey movie?
The current Kong movie.
He's the good guy.
No, he's sometimes a bad guy.
He's definitely the good guy.
No, he was bad one time.
Never in the movie, not a single one.
Mm-hmm. Fought Godzilla. That was mean.
They had a misunderstanding, and then they teamed up. Blew up a big robot.
Still being bad. They killed a lot of people in China.
I'm kind of looking forward to that one. I was surprised that didn't get a Super Bowl spot.
Yeah, that seems like one that would have been like very.
But I think that's just because Warner Brothers is broke.
The Super Bowl audience and the Godzilla.
Yeah, like the casual.
Audience, yeah, that is the exact.
Because they're not.
Maybe that's why, because they know it's the same people.
No, I think it's just because Warner Brothers is broke and they just can't.
Yeah, they can't afford it.
Because they haven't seen much marketing for that at all, and it's coming up pretty soon. Like it's like end of March. I think they're spending all their money on the Dune 2 marketing.
Yeah,
which I don't know. I think Dune 2 is gonna do fine.
It's not gonna do well as Godzilla though.
I don't know, it could do better.
I think Godzilla will.
I don't really know. I don't. Honestly, I think both might underperform. Like Dune Part 2 is Dune Part 2 is going to make more money than Dune 1, but Dune 1 also came out like day and date on streaming. So
yeah, and on streaming.
But Denis Villeneuve says he only wants to make 3 anyway, so I'm pretty sure they'll just let him.
Yeah.
Stop.
Do you think they're going to keep going with the series, or they'll just stop after that?
I know they're going to do a spin-off show on Max.
Well, I mean, like the rest of the books.
There's so many books.
Yeah.
I don't know if they would. They might try.
But how many books deep do you think they'll get before they run out of money?
Well, if he just does the 3, he'll have gotten 2 deep. So, I mean...
Well, he still hasn't finished the first book.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. If he does all 3, that's 2 books.
No, that's 1 book.
No, because Part 2 is going to be the rest of Dune 1.
I thought he said that it was all going to be 1 book.
And then Part 3 would be Dune Messiah, which is the second book.
Aren't there 3 main Dune books and then like a bunch of other ones?
Yeah, at a certain point, I think it jumps time periods. It goes like decades into the future, and then it's like Children of Dune.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not important. Moving on. Wicked Part 1. This was a sort of a surprise.
Yeah, this was out of nowhere.
This doesn't come out until Thanksgiving, so I was kind of shocked to see them advertising it this early. They spent like $150 million. There's going to be 2 of these. They're shooting them back to back. John M. Chu's directing them. He did In the Heights from a few years ago, which I liked. He also did Crazy Rich Asians, I believe. Yeah, both pretty good movies, I would say. I don't know anything about Wicked. I know it's been around for a pretty long time now. I know it's very popular.
It was in my opinion, which I'm not a really big musical person, but as far as I can observe from being like around theater kids long enough, I understand most of what's going on. Wicked was kind of the first in the new generation of like musical theater. Like it kind of,
I can see.
It kind of,
I can see what you're saying.
Kicked off what like, the road for like Hamilton,
Revival,
and Dear Evan Hansen, like all those shows that like became really big in like the late 2010s. This was kind of like the first. This was came out in like 2005, 2004. It
was like 2003, I think, or something.
Because I remember I was at.
Because I know it was I was reading about it a little bit earlier. I know it was a book in like the 80s, I think.
Because I saw ads for this when I was like really little.
Yeah, and then the show started in the 2000s. It's where like Idina Menzel got her start.
Yeah, like this was the first of like the revival of music.
And the thing is the Wizard of Oz brand is one ancient.
It does not exist. 2,
the rights to it are like so fractured and weirdly split up. Like, so the Wizard of Oz was a series of children's books in like.
I believe there's 3 of them.
I believe like the 1910s. Like it's that old. And of course, it's that original movie that's iconic from the 30s. Was it the 30s?
It was the first movie in color, so I think it was the 40s.
Long time ago. You've seen it. Everyone's seen Wizard of Oz at least at some point. If you're over,
or at least the song. You know the song.
If you're over like 15, you've probably seen Wizard. But there was that original Warner Brothers movie. And then, so Warner Brothers has the rights to just that original movie. Disney has the rights to the rest of the books.
Yeah, because they made a weird animated movie.
Because they made Return to Oz in the 80s, and then they made Oz the Great and Powerful, if you remember that from like a decade ago. Which actually Sam Raimi directed that movie.
Yeah, that was a prequel to The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. And then Wicked, the Broadway show, Universal owns the rights to that.
Because it's not related. Like it is related, but it's like their own
it's
story.
like a prequel / like alternate version of the original book.
As far as I understand, it is just a prequel.
I know it's mostly a prequel, but apparently
it's a non-canon.
Apparently,
prequel.
It's also like at the same time. Because you see Dorothy and Scarecrow and Tin Man and Lion all in this trailer.
Yeah, that might have just been.
And Dorothy has her contractually obligated silver slippers instead of her red ruby ones, because those are. What I'm saying, those are exclusively property of the Warner Brothers film, which they don't have the rights to.
I think they have to put them in there so you know that this is a witch. But
no, they can't put the ruby slippers in.
Not the slippers.
Oh, you mean
the cast?
I don't think people would figure it out. I think. I mean, I think people know. I think people are aware of Wicked,
when I was
the
little
show.
And I saw the like ads for this, I did not know that this was a Wizard of Oz thing until like years later, and I was.
You didn't see the Wicked Witch of the West and figure that out?
There's more than one witch in all of fiction, and they all basically look the same.
I don't know. People would have figured it out. You see the big Emerald City, and there's a witch, and
I'd only ever seen the poster.
Yeah, I know.
For context.
I think people are aware of Wicked, the show.
Yeah, now they are for sure. Especially like the musical.
This is a weird gamble in a lot of other ways. I mean, this brand is old. This is a musical, and they didn't put any of the music in that trailer. No singing allowed.
They have Ariana Grande
and
Cynthia
she didn't
sing anything.
And Cynthia Erivo, both singers,
and
neither didn't put any of their singing in the trailer because they're gonna do that, hide the fact that it's a musical. They're not gonna be able to do that.
Guys, it's a musical. It's based on a musical. It's not like a thing that couldn't be a musical, but is. No, it's a musical.
It's not like The Color Purple where it like was a different thing and we made it a musical.
Or Wonka, where like it could have been a regular movie, but it was a musical. Or
like Wicked is just straight up a Broadway musical that we turned into a.
Yes, this is a film adaptation of a Broadway musical.
They can't. They're not even gonna, because this is gonna be 2 parts. The second part's gonna come out next year. They're not gonna be able to do that with part 2.
No,
because people are gonna see part 1 and remember the fact that it was a musical, and they're gonna go into part 2. They can only do this one time.
This, you know what? I just now decided I hate.
Wow.
And here's why.
Preach, brother.
Part 1. Stop it.
What?
Stop making half of a movie.
Well, the show's long.
Stop it.
I think.
How many times has it been now? How many movies have we seen in the last 3 years where it just stops halfway? Every good movie we see, just movie stop.
Let's see.
Wait for the rest in 5 years.
Fast and Furious.
Okay, well that wasn't good, but they did the same.
Spider-Verse.
Very good, and that was very annoying. They did that.
Mission Impossible.
That was pretty good, and it was very annoying.
Those were the only 3.
No, there was another one.
Was it recent?
Dune. Dune is the other one.
Okay, but Dune we knew there was going to be.
Yes, but they stopped in like the middle of a random part. Like they didn't reach same with Spider-Verse. Like
Spider-Verse was annoying.
We knew it was gonna be part 1 and 2, but they just they just slam on the brakes at the stopwatch.
Dune and Mission Impossible, I both thought got to like a pretty solid
Mission
resting
Impossible,
point.
I think was a better, but Dune
Dune was okay.
He gets to the tribe of dudes in the desert. They're like marching, and then the movie stops.
Like Fast X and Spider-Verse just straight up stopped in the middle of a scene.
Yeah,
like they just cut. Wicked, because I'm pretty sure it's half prequel, half like concurrent story. If there's like a time jump in the show and the first movie ends where like the time jump is, I think that's fine if you want to split it up. Because Broadway shows are long, dude. Broadway shows are so long. So I'm fine with them splitting it up.
Doesn't the Wicked Witch die like the first 5 seconds
in Wizard of Oz?
Wizard of Oz.
He dies at the end of Wizard of Oz.
Oh, I'm thinking of
there's two of them. There's the Wicked Witch of the East and there's Glenda the Good Witch, who's Ariana Grande in this.
Yes.
There's the Wicked Witch of the West, which is Cynthia Erivo in this, and then there's the Wicked Witch of the East. And I don't know who's playing her, but she gets crushed by a house at the beginning of.
So where's the North and South?
Of us, North and
South. Glenda one of those directions?
I don't. They might say. I think she might be the Good Witch of the North.
So is there a South Witch?
Nothing. There's nothing good down south.
Is that where Mrs. Claus lives?
Is
she canon in this universe?
Wizard of Oz is nuts, dude. If you ever like read about the lore of that universe, it's insane.
The book is insane.
It's so obvious that the guy who wrote it was like super high.
It's not the same as the movie.
No, the movie is very like simple and
the movie cuts a lot. Like the general story is basically the same. But they cut so much out in the movie. There are so many parts of that book that are just genuinely, completely insane.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's so many of them. There's like 8 books.
Yeah, I don't know what the rest of them are about, but because I've only read the first one.
I think this could catch on. I don't know if I trust Ariana Grande to lead a movie like this at this point.
She's done. She did a TV show for
like quite a
20
gamble.
Years.
Yeah, but she hasn't really had like a film acting career. Even music, I don't think I don't think she's even like really been active in the music scene in quite a while either.
She releases a lot.
Like she's not at her peak right now. I think you'd want her as like her big feature lead role. I think you'd want her to be like at her peak stardom. And like another actor.
It's crazy to me that she's like leading a movie right now. Like Disney's having her lead a movie.
This is Universal.
whatever.
Yeah.
But like Disney got Taylor Swift just to be in like a minor role in Dead.
No, she's not in it.
Yeah, totally.
Not in it.
Totally hasn't just been leaked on
Neither
toy
is
boxes.
any of the X-Men.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Wolverine's not in it either.
Wolverine's not in the movie.
No, but like that's actually nuts. Like they had the option to do anything.
Well, I mean, I get getting her. I get getting her in this role. I don't really know if I trust like this cast to really sell people on this movie, because I do think you're gonna have to sell people on it. I don't think it's gonna be as easy as like we'll just kind of show up thing as Wonka. If this can do Wonka numbers, I think it counts as
the musical people will show up.
Yeah,
and this has the biggest audience probably of any musical movie that has been made recently. Like In the Heights is a relatively like
that's a little.
It's not
unpopular,
it's
pretty niche,
but it's a much more niche musical. This is a huge musical.
Yeah, I guess the only thing you could do to like get bigger than this one would be like Hamilton.
I would say it's probably more comparable to the Dear Evan Hansen one, and probably more popular.
The Dear Evan Hansen,
that one didn't do well at all. But
it was also bad.
Yeah, it was also really bad. Like if this movie is just okay,
if it's pretty good, it'll do fine.
Yeah, if this has the quality of Wonka and the audience of Dear Evan Hansen,
this was supposed to
come out very well.
This was supposed to come out at Christmas. I think that would be a better date for this, because it's coming out like at a really crowded Thanksgiving time period. I would have pushed it. I would have kept it at that Christmas date. Oz and magic and wizards and fairy tales. That's all very Christmassy. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Next one, Twisters. Sam.
More than one.
More than one this time. None of the original cast is back. A couple of them are dead. So we filled it out. We filled out our roster with all the hot young Hollywood talent.
This is not a spinoff. This is just not a spinoff.
What do you mean?
This is just a different and unrelated movie.
I mean, it's not completely unrelated.
It's the same premise. They're stealing the premise of a movie, but it's not a spinoff. How on earth can you have a spinoff movie about a tornado?
Have you ever seen Twister?
Yeah.
You have?
I've seen clips. I've never seen the entire
I've never
movie.
seen Twister.
Do you know what happens in Twister?
I know there's a big tornado.
Uh-huh. Do you know what else happens?
$200 million budget?
Do you know what else happens in Twister?
I can take a guess that it probably destroys a big town.
No, that's it. The tornado comes and then everyone's fine. That's like actually what happens.
This looks fine, I guess.
You know that scene from Superman?
Yeah.
It's like that, but actually like he doesn't die. So it was all right.
I mean, I like the cast on this. Glenn Powell, he's coming off a big hit. Anyone But You's doing great. He's coming off of that.
Yeah, but no one knows that he's in it.
I mean, he's all over the trailer.
Yeah, but no one saw him in the trailer.
He's all over it. He's got
yes,
sunglasses
but no one's
on.
Looking at him.
Why?
Because they're looking at Sydney Sweeney.
I'm talking about the Twister movie.
I'm aware. I'm saying like it doesn't matter.
You mean in the whole movie, Anyone But You? No one noticed he was in it the whole time.
No one knows that that's him in the movie. I'm making a joke.
I know. Daisy Edgar Jones, I like her. She's good in stuff. Anthony Ramos from In the Heights is in this. David Cornsweat's gonna be in this. The next Superman. I think this could be fun. I was like, this looks fine, and then there's a point in the trailer where they like release a bunch of drones into a tornado.
They're taking it too seriously.
And I'm like, all right.
This movie should have been goofy, and they're taking it way too seriously.
I mean, it's got a talented director.
How on earth do you take Twisters seriously?
I don't know. I don't really know why they thought this was a good idea.
Do you remember the Incredible Crew sketch, Torcano Quake Bliss Flash
yep,
Fire
I do
Cane
remember
Bees?
that, because I remember that sketch.
Do you know what that sketch is based on?
This is a Twister.
It's based on this.
Okay. I would making another Twister, like an algorithm probably told him it was a good idea. That's fine.
No, what algorithm would tell you that that's a good idea?
It's a thing some people remember.
No,
that's
it isn't.
Enough. That's all it takes.
Who remembers that? Like Nostalgia Critic, and the only reason he remembers it is so that we don't have to.
Stop yelling. You shouldn't be getting this upset about Twister.
I'm arguing with.
No,
the
I mean
it's a good idea.
It's kind of like one. It's probably this and Independence Day are probably like the two big disaster movies people remember from that big disaster movie boom in the 90s. Like this is one of them. So I understand doing a follow up. This costing $200 million is ridiculous. This should cost like $120 million max.
That is 20 times the cost of Godzilla.
I mean, what are we doing here, dude? That's insane. This is not going to make that money back. This could make $350 million. I would consider that like pretty good for a Twister sequel in the year of 2024, but it would not make money because this budget is ridiculous.
What effects are you doing in Twister?
Twister.
That are not more intensive than the effects you had to do for Godzilla?
Big Twister.
I think Godzilla is a bigger disaster than
I don't
Tornado.
think we can compare these movies to Godzilla.
I think that this is the most logical one to compare to Godzilla in terms of special effects requirements.
Yeah, but,
because what is Godzilla?
How do you think
really?
they got all those effects?
Godzilla is like a natural disaster. That's basically what he is. So to compare it to this, that's a natural disaster. Like, what are you doing?
To be fair, I'm sure the working conditions over in the Japan VFX department were not great.
Studio, whatever. Yeah, they were probably like sleeping in their desks for a month or whatever. But like, they still pay them like normal, like comparable wages.
I don't know. I mean, this is just an insane budget for a Twister sequel.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
also, this fad's passed. Like,
this fad passed in
I feel like
2012.
Moonfall, that great movie Moonfall that we both love.
The best movie.
One of the funniest movies I think I've ever seen. That great movie Moonfall, I think that was like the final nail in the coffin of this whole get like 5 famous people and like $700 million and make a thing where things explode for 2 hours. That was kind of like the final nail in the coffin of this whole subgenre, and we're just doing it again.
Yeah, like I see no future where this movie does well.
Again, I think it could do fine. It's just not going to make money with that insane budget.
Like, I see no future where this is a success.
Unless it's really good. Unless for some... I mean, anything can be good.
Twisters. The movie
anything can be good.
Where a tornado has 2 kids.
Some things are just good.
What even is that?
I don't know. It could be good. And then it could maybe pop off.
Dude, okay. For those of you who...
People love that Glenn Powell thing.
For those of you who do not live in the tornado belt, is that what it's called? Where the...
Yeah, where we live, where there's tornadoes everywhere all the time, yeah.
Guys, tornadoes are like not that scary of it. I'm gonna be honest.
I mean, it's probably very scary for the people whose homes and livelihoods are destroyed by the big tornadoes.
Yes, but okay. We have so many family members who have been like in tornadoes.
Yeah.
And have been basically fine.
I mean, yeah, there's not usually much of casualties during a tornado.
The biggest problem that our family members have had with tornadoes
some housing damage.
Was housing damage.
Yeah.
And one of their dogs was lost for a few days. That's it. Like, compare that to a hurricane. Hurricanes like destroy cities.
Well, because
tornadoes are not that big of a deal.
Yeah, but
they're like the.
But in this, they're chasing the tornadoes.
They're
going
at the tornadoes.
They're
like one tier up from thunderstorm. Like, there's like rain. It's like not that big a deal. Maybe like some more car accidents. Like, when you have thunderstorm, it's like, okay, like there's some big strong winds. Maybe power line gets knocked down. Then there's tornado. It's like, okay, your house could get destroyed. You might die. Maybe. Probably not, but you might die. Then there's hurricane. That's like the final boss. Well, okay, no. Then there's hurricane. Then there's like volcano. That's the final boss. But like, then there's hurricane. You like might lose power for a month. And then there's like volcano, where it's like your city is gone and you are lava now. Like, in the scale of natural disasters, tornadoes are like not the scariest one.
Well, for normal dudes like us, who when we hear the tornado siren, just kind of sit in a closet for 10 minutes.
Yeah, we're just like, eh.
That's not scary. If you're driving into the tornado, that's probably pretty terrifying.
Okay, so do you know what you do? You don't do that.
Okay, but then the movie doesn't happen.
Just drive away.
Then there's no movie.
Tornadoes, by the way, also, on average, the longest a tornado has ever lasted is 10 minutes. How long is this movie?
Probably, I haven't said.
Probably about 2
like
hours.
2 hours,
maybe longer. Probably 2.5 hours if it's the same as like big blockbusters.
With 2 tornadoes? That's 20 minutes long.
Yes, that is enough content for 20 minutes of screen time. What on earth are they going to be doing?
They're going to be
for the other 2 hours.
Chasing tornadoes. Me and you need to watch Twister as homework, and then come back.
I've seen like all of the parts
you and me. I'm of course I'll watch it beforehand because I do homework for all of these movies.
Literally, just a tornado hits a farm and they survive, and that's it.
I think I don't think it'll be fine. It could be fine. Who knows? All right, finally, the last one, and Sam's favorite one by default because it's got a Marvel movie. It's got Marvel on it.
Well, it's the only one that's a franchise I'm like.
Yeah, no,
remotely
it's the
invested
best. It's probably the best trailer out of all these two, honestly.
in. Yeah.
Anyway, Deadpool 3 / Deadpool and Wolverine. Everyone's back, kind of, maybe a little bit. Not really.
We'll see.
We'll see. So, it's been 5-6 years since the last Deadpool movie.
Came out in 2019? 2018?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, then the Christmas one was 2019.
But that was just Deadpool 2.
Yeah.
Since Deadpool 2. We got Deadpool and Wolverine is the first one in the MCU. Trailer opens. We got all of the Deadpool cast members, all the usuals.
They're all doing a
Deadpool's birthday party. Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Yukio. Colossus. Yep. Yukio, remember she's got like a magic yo-yo or something.
Who's she in?
Deadpool 2.
I've seen Deadpool 2. I do not remember.
She's got pink hair. Japanese, I think.
I don't remember this
Okay.
character. What did she do?
She's barely in it. She's
like, what did she do something in the movie?
She's Negasonic's girlfriend.
Well, I figured that from the trailer, but like that I thought that was a new character.
No, she's in
I was just like, oh, in between movies, like she got a girlfriend. I did not remember that.
She's in Deadpool 2. Like,
what does she do?
Doesn't do anything. No one does anything in Deadpool 2.
No, but like cable time travel.
But like Blind Owl's back. Colossus is there. His girlfriend's back. I forget her name. What's her name?
I don't remember, but
I don't remember. She's back too.
He time traveled.
They're all there. Because he saved them all at the end of Deadpool 2 via time travel. And then the TVA shows up, and he gets recruited by one of the guys from Succession to go on some sort of timeline MCU saving adventure. And then the trailer cuts to him beating up some TVA agents, and Wolverine's shadow shows up at the end.
And Eliath was in.
Yeah, is that big thing that swooped down? Also,
Yeah.
Pyro is in it. Pyro from X2 is in it, in
good
like a
thing he was in
post-apocalyptic thing. So, I'm guessing everything in this trailer is from like the first 30 minutes of the movie.
Probably.
They're probably hiding most of the stuff, including Wolverine. It was really weird to me that they just straight up announced the title to be Deadpool and Wolverine, and yet still hid the fact that Wolverine.
Yeah,
was
that
in it.
was really weird. Just show him on the screen. They've already released all those.
I don't
pictures.
understand airing a Super Bowl spot for this and not putting Wolverine in it, because that's like the big thing.
Yeah, that is the big.
That's the thing that's going to get people talking.
Yeah.
Because if you just show footage of Deadpool beating up dudes in suits or whatever, everyone's just going to be like, oh, it's another Deadpool. Like, you need that big thing where it's like, oh my gosh.
You know what would have been a
crazy's going
crazy
on.
marketing campaign?
What?
If they marketed it this whole time as a Wolverine movie. If they had pretended this whole time that, like, this is going to be Disney's first X-Men, and it's going to be a Wolverine movie, and they got Hugh Jackman back, and then at the Super Bowl, they reveal that it's like Wolverine, but then like Deadpool and Wolverine. That would have been crazy.
I'm pretty sure the plan was to do that, but the opposite way.
Yeah, but we already know it's a Deadpool
I feel
movie.
like, but like everyone would expect them to make it. Like, I feel like that wouldn't be a big reveal to have Deadpool be in a Wolverine movie, because the thing that would be shocking would be the fact that they're making another Wolverine movie.
Yeah.
Like, everyone expects him to make another Deadpool movie. But it being Deadpool and also Wolverine is there, like, that's a big shock.
Yeah, they would be the
and
fake
not
out.
really the other way around.
It would be a fake out.
But anyway, so it looks like what's going to happen in this is that he gets caught by the TVA, I'm guessing for timeline shenanigans at the end of Deadpool 2.
Yeah.
And then they recruit him to go on a mission to what looks like both the Age of Ultron opening scene, that big opening fight with Hydra. It looks like he's going to go there. And then another scene where he's in like that post-apocalyptic Fox quarry that we've seen from all the set leaks.
I think that's on the Eliath.
No, because that one scene where he's beating up all the TVA, I think that's going to be... Because you can see it's like that same snowy forest, and there's like all the Hydra tanks like flipped over in the background. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the opening of Age of Ultron, that opening scene.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure it's going to have something to do with Quicksilver.
No, but I mean like the destroyed like Fox.
Yeah, and then the
logo.
Fox thing, you can see there's that big 20th Century Fox like rubble in the background that we saw from all the set photos. And...
You think that's going to be at the Age of Ultron place?
No, I'm saying these are the two different locations we see in the trailer.
Yes, okay.
My guess is that they're going to send him on a mission, right, to like go save Quicksilver or something. Or like stop him or keep him dying so like this timeline can be corrected or whatever.
Yeah, whatever they got to do.
And then he'll go rogue and kill all those TVA agents which we see him do in the trailer, and then he'll get pruned to the wasteland where like all the pruned stuff goes.
And I think that's
and all of the Fox guys will be in the pruned area.
Yeah.
And then he'll lead like some sort of revolt against the TVA guy with all the Fox X-Men. And then they'll wind up in like the primary, because their timeline will now be destroyed.
Yeah.
They'll all wind up in the primary MCU timeline.
They'll be like timeline refugees.
Well, actually, no, that doesn't make any sense, because remember in the Marvels, Monica Rambeau gets stuck in the Fox X-Men timeline.
So she'll be there too.
But then what was that setting up?
Setting up this.
Do you think she's going to be in this? I don't.
What?
I don't think she is. That'd be weird for her to be in this.
I don't know. What? I don't know.
Why was she in the Fox X-Men universe in the first place?
Those two ideas, like
maybe there's more than one Fox X-Men universe.
Well, there are, because Beast looked different.
Yeah. Maybe she's in the maybe she was in the 90s X-Men universe from the cartoon show.
Okay.
And this will be the movie Fox universe.
We need to know where the TVA is in its history to figure this out.
I think this is post Loki season 2.
But they wouldn't be pruning stuff if it was. Because they don't do that anymore.
But I feel like it would be really confusing for the audience if this was like, remember all that stuff that happened in Loki season 2? Okay, forget about that. But just remember it vaguely. So, but like, I feel like that'd be confusing.
But that would solve.
But also,
that would solve the problem.
No, because
if it was pre-Loki,
it's not going to be.
They would be pruning stuff.
It's not going to be pre-Loki.
For some reason, let me finish my explanation. If it is, that would at least explain why they're pruning stuff. Deadpool would end up there. All that stuff could happen. They could still go to the other timeline and be like refugees hiding there for a while.
I think.
And then the Loki stuff would happen. Timelines would branch off, and then that's how Monica Rambeau gets.
Well, the timelines are already branched off because the Deadpool universe already exists.
But it also existed before.
No,
I think started to exist.
I think the fact that he's getting recruited to like do a mission. I think that's how we know it's like it's the new TVA.
But then why would
also because it's not Mobius, it's the different guy. And at the end of Loki season 2, Mobius like takes a break. So I think that's why it's not going to be him. It's going to be something else. Yeah, their like suits are different or whatever. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's just because they had a higher budget on this than they did in the Loki TV show. So they just
like the Loki suits.
Yeah, but higher budget, got to make new sets. Also, they probably had to, because these were like shooting probably a different, or at the same time, they probably had to make different TVA sets and costumes. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of what it looks like now. It looks fun. I am a little worried that the Deadpool stuff will just kind of be thrown to the side so that we can do multiverse shenanigans.
They finished all the Deadpool stuff.
But that's like what makes those movies work. Like those first 2 Deadpool movies work because of like those characters, and it's got like a heart to it. I feel like it's been 6 years since the last Deadpool movie. I feel like it'd be disappointing to me if they brought in all those characters just for like a 2-minute cameo and then they just go do something else.
The rest of the Deadpool cast.
I'm saying, yeah, like Colossus and all those supporting characters.
Yeah.
Like, I think it'd be weird to just put them in at the start and then immediately just rip him out and just do something completely unrelated.
I don't think we're going to see all of them in the...
I don't see why you couldn't put them all in.
There's no reason why they couldn't. I just don't think they will.
Like, Colossus in Deadpool was just comic book Colossus. Like, that's a pretty one-to-one translation.
Yeah, but, like, I don't know if they would... Like, I think they want to... I think they want to cull the brand.
It's going to be the same Deadpool. They're not going to recast Deadpool.
That's not it.
I know. I'm saying, so why would you keep him and then replace everyone else in his, like...
I'm saying they won't even replace them. Like, they'll just cut characters.
But then what do you do if you need to make another Deadpool movie?
You have him meet a new person.
Just all different people? Why?
Because Disney wants to distance themselves from the other 2 movies.
Sam, if there's one thing this movie is not doing, it's distancing itself from the other Fox X-Men movies.
That's this movie. That's because it's the first one that's in the Disney thing. It's the same thing they did with Star Wars. In the first one, it was very much like part of Star Wars type of movie.
Are you saying Force Awakens?
Yes. And then as they kept making them, they got farther and farther from that.
Yeah, that's just straight up not true.
Yes, it is.
You telling me they got further away from the original Star Wars by bringing Palpatine out of nowhere for the 9th one? And then having a bunch of Jedi do cameos?
Yes.
That's literally just straight up taking all this stuff from the other stuff and putting it in this stuff.
How many Jedi were there in episode 6?
1.
3
2,
if you count the Force Ghosts.
Yeah.
Right? In episode 9, there's like 1,000, and they're like they all have a voice cameo. That's not the same thing.
What do you mean by them distancing themselves from it?
Like, okay.
Saying like it's a different plot?
No, I'm saying like the Disney brand is like becomes part of the Disney brand and less what it was before it was a part of Disney. Like the characters are toned down so they're less dramatic, they're more family friendly, that kind of stuff.
But I mean, they're keeping the R rating for this and stuff. I don't think they're trying to distance themselves from
I know,
that
but
much.
that's what I'm saying. It's taking a similar path. In the first Star Wars movie, it still kind of had that grit to it. It was still
Didn't have any grit
closer to a Star Wars movie than I think the other two
because
were.
they remade episode 4.
Yes, that is what I am saying.
Okay, I'm not arguing with you.
I know, but you're still not understanding my point, even though you're not arguing with me. So my point is, as Disney,
You're saying they Disneyified it as it went on.
yes, and I think the first one it's going to be very much Fox, very much still Deadpool, very much that thing. But I think at the end we're going to lose some of those characters that Disney doesn't think fits their current image of the brand. And then going forward, it'll become more of a Disney thing.
I don't think we're going to
goes on.
lose any of the characters until Secret War.
Yes, but
I think all the Fox X-Men are going to
I
stick
also
around.
don't think we're
going to
have another Deadpool movie.
Probably not.
That's what I'm saying.
I also don't know if he'll make another. I don't know if he wants to do it after this.
Ryan Reynolds?
Because, yeah, I mean, he's in his mid-50s, man.
Yeah, but
He's done 3. Like, what do you do in a Deadpool
show up
4?
to like record the scenes where his mask.
I would
is off.
understand him showing up for like a cameo and stuff, but I don't know. Doing a whole nother Deadpool movie just seems like a lot of work.
Deadpool is the flagship X-Men character, right? That's not really a debatable fact.
I mean, it's probably still Wolverine though, right? Like he's the X-Man.
Yeah, but
People think X-Man,
not
they think
in terms
Wolverine.
of sales for like movies.
Okay, but
and that's what Disney's
I mean, the
looking at.
Deadpool movies made more money
when
than
you
everything
look
else,
at-
I guess.
It's about what Disney sees.
Yeah, they
Disney
see
looks at the
big
charts.
paycheck sign.
They look at the chart. They go, well, the chart says Deadpool's your best character.
Yeah.
Not best because he's the most well-written.
How much did Logan make?
Logan, I don't think was very successful. At least not. It was not super successful.
I know the last X-Men movie made no money. It also was trash. So.
Yeah, but my point is Disney.
I mean, yeah, it did make less than the Deadpool movie.
Disney sees that Deadpool's making the most money. They go, Deadpool's the flagship character. We got to run him into the ground. We got to make as many Deadpool things as we can.
Like they took 6 years to make this one movie.
Yeah, that's what they do with every
know,
property they
making
get
fun
their
of
hands
them.
on. They get their hands on it. They go, which part of this makes the most money? And then they run it into the ground. That's the Disney formula.
I don't know. There's just parts of this that are like exciting me. I think this could be fun. Just
I think this movie will
they're
be
showing
fun.
Deadpool in that red suit, and they're gonna have Wolverine in that yellow suit.
It's going to look cool.
They're doing it to me
They're
again.
doing the magic.
They can't. They won't stop.
That's the thing. I think this movie will be fine. I'm talking like 10 years out.
But I don't know. There's parts of this movie has 5 credited screenwriters. That's pretty much never a good thing.
I'm going to be honest.
Sean Levy has never made a movie that was above mediocre.
The trailer was not filling me with confidence.
It looked fine.
It looks fine. But I'm not like this looks like it's going to be like a Deadpool 2.
But I think that's just because they're hiding so much of the stuff in it.
But the more stuff they're hiding, the less stuff has
Like,
to do with Deadpool.
Spider-Man No Way Home, right, which had all the multiversal cameos.
Mhm.
They were going to hide all those in the marketing, and I feel like that it probably would have been the same case where it looks really looks really lame without all that stuff in it.
No, but people were still hyped for the next Spider-Man.
But because he's Spider-Man.
No, it's because like there was story stuff going on with that character that people were interested in seeing pursued, like the death of Tony Stark.
we left
was an
Deadpool
interesting...
off in a pretty good place.
Yeah, he was left off in a good place where there's not really anywhere for his character to go.
It looks like there's gonna be there's a little snippet of it. It looks like there's gonna be some
And
drama between him and his girlfriend because it looks like they maybe broke up. That's like a little thing to that in the trailer.
But that's like, I don't see him changing during this story at all. When I see the trailer,
Yeah, probably. I mean, he'll probably learn to do teamwork.
But he did that in the first Deadpool. Like, this looks to me like it's gonna be Deadpool saying some funny words
and Wolverine
doing some good action,
being grumpy.
Wolverine being grumpy,
Yeah.
and they multiverse time cop stuff.
Yeah,
Which is fine. That sounds like
that's
a
a fine
fun
pitch
time,
for a movie. Yeah,
but I don't think it's going to be the savior.
No,
of the
I don't think
MCU
it's going to be as good
saying
as either of the first two Deadpools. Because
Like-
again, those first two Deadpools work because there's like an actual like core story to
Yeah,
that.
there's no this. I don't.
This
see,
looks like it's just going to be bells and whistles.
whatever the core story is, they didn't show it in the trailer.
Yeah, I mean, and this is just a teaser.
And this is just a
So who
teaser.
knows?
But when it comes to like multiverse cameos, those never really have anything to do with the main core story.
Yeah,
Usually they don't. So I am worried what the core story is if we don't see that in any of the
I
trailers.
do think, Spider-Man No Way Home, as much as the internet has decided to turn on that movie recently for
is
some
really
reason.
good.
That movie works. I still think it's good. Last time I watched it, and that movie works because it's got that core emotional arc for Peter Parker, and that's the basis of it. And then you have all the Tobey Maguires and Green Goblins and all that on top of it, right? And it's just icing on the cake. If they can do that same thing here, I think that'll work fine. I think if you do a little story where like he sees all the different multiverse, if you do It's a Wonderful Life, right?
Yeah.
With Deadpool, and he sees like the different versions of the universes, like, and what happened to his friends if like he wasn't around to help him or whatever. Like you could do something with that. Like
That
that's
would be
fine.
interesting. Yeah, I would
Do
be
something
fine
like
with
that. If they can keep any sort of core emotional arc to that character, I think it'll work
But
better. If they get lost in the oh my gosh, it's Professor X point at him of it all, I think it'll be a problem.
And like what you just said with the like do the It's a Wonderful Life but Deadpool. If they were gonna do that, that would have been Deadpool 2. Because that's when he's at his lowest point.
Yeah. We've already seen him at his lowest
We've already
point.
seen him at his lowest. He's not gonna get lower than
he was
his
in Deadpool
girlfriend
2.
just got killed and all his friends are
And
gone.
and there's a montage of him committing
there's
suicide.
a montage of his like unaliving attempts, right? That would have been a good time to do a It's a Wonderful Life but Deadpool. But like this to me looks like it's going to be action-filled cameo fest, which is fine. I'm down for an action-filled cameo fest. But like the line in the trailer was where he's like, "I'm Marvel Jesus." That is how Twitter and like how the fans are tweeting are treating this movie. Like I'm sure you've seen that clip where like it's like the scene of Deadpool reloading his guns and they're like, "Oh, Marvel's about to get good again," and I'm like, guys.
I think this is just how this is going to work
They're
now.
basically all the same. You just like this character more.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, you're allowed to like certain characters more than everyone's. I feel like this is just how Marvel's going to be now, where it'll be like, Captain Marvel 2, we all hate it. Captain America 4, we all like it. Thunderbolts movie, we all hate it. Oh, Shang-Chi 2, we all like it. It's just going to go like that.
Yeah, but like,
Where if it's just like a character they're like already a fan of, they'll just decide it's good. And if it's something else, it's bad. Not that Marvel hasn't released a lot of terrible stuff recently. They have. The Marvels is bad. Secret Invasion is bad. Ant-Man 3 is
so
bad. Like, they've done quite a few bad things recently. This is going to make... Deadpool 3 is going to make money regardless of its quality.
Dude, there's people defending the Marvels.
I know. There always were.
No, but like, they're like, wow, you think Deadpool's gonna bring Marvel back? What about the Marvels? That was good. It's like, dude,
it's
is that the
okay.
only movie you've ever seen? If it's the only movie you've ever seen,
You know what?
like, okay, maybe I understand.
You're allowed to like the Marvels, whatever. It's fine. No, the movie's not fine. It's fine that you like it, whatever. Like what you want. But no, I mean the Marvels is just like such a nothing burger. There's just nothing to that.
The action was pretty good. And that's like that's the only thing that I thought was pretty
The Marvels was the ultimate like we have to put out a Marvel movie this year.
Yeah.
Like what can we throw together?
It was the algorithm says we need to release a movie.
Yeah, it says Captain Marvel sequel, insert and then a date.
Yeah.
And they had to come up with something.
The chart says movie goes here.
Yeah.
We put movie here.
Movie here. All right, I think we got to move on from this
All right.
segment. Again, this movie's probably going to make $900 million regardless.
You think this is Marvel's first billion since whatever their last billion was?
I think the only thing that's going to hold it back from being a billion is it being rated
What was
R.
their last billion? Was it Endgame?
last Marvel movie
Oh, no,
to
it
make
was
a billion?
Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, which is technically Sony, but it's the last Marvel.
Yeah. I think this could be their first billion since
Because
Spider-Man.
yeah, Black Panther almost did it. I don't think it did though.
Oh, yeah, okay. If Black Panther 2 almost did a billion, this will
That and Guardians did about the same amount, which was like 850.
Because this is
Somewhere around
also
there.
this is also the first X-Men project in the MCU.
That's true.
Which is something
you
that
don't
fans have
count-
been waiting a long time
If you don't count the Marvels, and then also
No one does.
that scene where Kamala Khan was a mutant.
The last 3 seconds of Miss Marvel. No one has even seen that.
I mean,
We're the only people who have even
Professor
seen
X
that.
was in Doctor Strange. Remember that?
Yep.
What a movie. What a time. What a world we live in.
This is the first movie where an X-Men is
the first
main
X-Men movie
character.
came out 24 years ago.
Yeah.
How far we've come.
I mean, the X-Men movies really never got better until they made Deadpool.
I would be fine with a fun little send-off for like that cast, because they kind of got it, but they never really did. They never really got to be the X-Men like together at any point.
No, the X-Men never became the X-Men in any of the X-Men movies.
Really, yeah. It's just like if they can finally get them together and like give them a fun little adventure send-off.
I don't think they have. There's no way they got all the X-Men back. There's no way.
I mean, what are they doing?
I don't know.
None of them are busy.
This is Deadpool. Like this movie.
This movie cost $250 million.
But this movie
they definitely didn't get Taylor Swift.
Hang on. This movie's named after 2 guys.
Yeah.
You can't have all the guys show up in the movie about 2 guys.
I mean, all the guys showed up in the Doctor Strange movie.
But but that's exactly what I'm saying. They showed up, but they didn't really do anything. Like I don't
think they're gonna have.
I don't want the X-Men to. I don't want.
They're not gonna have a major supporting role.
I don't want their big goodbye to be like, we here, bye," because that was in Deadpool 2. They did that in Deadpool 2, where they were all like.
No, I
sitting
think
in a
they'll
room.
probably show up in the second act and be there for. They'll probably come together and do a big fight at the end, and then.
I don't know.
And then they'll all show up.
This movie could go.
Sam, keep in mind, they're all gonna be in Secret Wars.
Well, yeah.
If that movie ever gets made, they're all gonna be in it.
But that's secret. That movie's going to cost $1 billion.
Literally, it's going to cost $1 billion.
But I'm not talking about. This is Deadpool.
I know, but they're all like they're not. They're gonna be in more than just this. And again, they're not doing. James Marsden is doing Sonic sequels. All right, he's got time for Deadpool 3.
Yeah. What are the other ones?
Famke Jensen. I don't even think she's done anything recently. Patrick Stewart. It's a role that requires him to not even get up out of his chair. He'll just get
Jennifer
rolled
Lawrence
onto set.
Sometimes does.
Jennifer Lawrence is not going to be in it.
She
It's gonna
sometimes
be.
has jobs.
It's not gonna be all of them. It's not gonna be from like the reboot prequel timeline. It's just gonna be that classic like early 2000s OG X-Men like Halle Berry.
Dude, Patrick
Hugh
Stewart
Jackman,
is going
James
to
Marsden,
actually
Patrick
going
Stewart.
to need to be in a wheelchair by the time like he's done doing.
80s now.
Yeah, but like he still like is mobile. Like he's going to need a wheelchair.
Mobile.
Like he still walks around to all of his like the stuff he goes to.
He could still do it.
But like by the time he's whatever
locked
his
in.
last movie comes out, like whatever his last
The only thing
performance is.
The only thing that will be able to stop him from doing more of these is if he like actually dies. Because as long as he can still talk,
They will keep.
they
putting
can
him
wheel
in
him
this
out.
movie. Yeah, because
As long as he can talk and hold his fingers to his temple,
they
he's
could even
locked
CGI
in.
his arm. Honestly,
Yeah.
they don't even need to
He's
have
just
him do
gotta
that.
be able to speak.
All right.
Anyway.
What's the next thing?
Let's move on. Sam, I'm pretty sure we've talked about that for a straight hour, by the way.
We haven't even been going for an hour.
Jurassic World. We talked about on the last episode how David Leitch was hired to direct the next Jurassic World movie. He's already quit. Been less than a week. He's already quit.
Universal owns Jurassic stuff, right?
Yeah. So it was perfectly believed he was locked in to do this. Turns out it's not going to happen. This is, of course, the reboot of the Jurassic World series over at Universal.
Man, what a shame.
The project is being mega fast tracked. They've settled on a July 2nd, 2025 release date, which is next summer.
No, they haven't. Do you want to know how I know they haven't? Because their director just quit.
That's what, just hold on. The project, it has a script, but there's no cast. There's no director. There's very little pre-production work completed.
I'm guessing the writer's first name was Chat.
The studio, they're locked into that date. They need to make that. They need a big summer $1 billion hit for next year. And apparently they want someone who will be more of a shooter, who will just come in, do principal photography on the film, and then leave.
Honestly, just hire a cinematographer and skip the director.
Because apparently David Leitch left because he apparently wanted to have too many ideas.
Well, he wanted to make a movie.
He wanted to try to make an actual movie, and they went,
yeah,
no,
he wanted to like film a movie, and they were like, no.
By the way,
don't do that.
Film Twitter hates David Leitch, dude.
What has he made?
He made he made Bullet Train and Deadpool 2 and like Hobbs and Shaw. He just makes like perfectly fine action movies, but they freaking hate him. He's like their arch nemesis.
Like Bullet Train was pretty good. Bullet Train will get sequels eventually. Like
I don't know.
Deadpool 2 was all right. It was pretty good. It was all right. Deadpool's
Hobbs
always
and Shaw is stupid.
Hobbs and Shaw is really dumb,
but kind of fun.
But like
it's competently made.
Compared to the Fast and Furious movies that have come out since Hobbs and Shaw, that's probably the best one.
Yeah. Probably. We don't have time to get into that now. But but like he feels like he's like a universal guy. Like they love him. That Fall Guy movie that's coming out, he did that. Like he's kind of just like their studio guy. They bring him in to do like their action stuff.
He makes the default setting.
Yeah. Apparently even he was even too stylized for what they want.
And
they need Brett Ratner. This is the dude.
They need Robert Rodriguez.
No, he's too. Come on, that's too stylized for this.
He's like your budget.
This is when you call in Brett the Rat Ratner. He needs a bat signal. Brett Ratner needs a back signal where the studios are like, what's a director who will just do whatever we say, ask no questions, has no standards.
No.
We could just push the button and the light goes in the sky and he shows up.
Who's the guy we call to bring back dead franchises and trilogy?
J.J. Abrams.
J.J. Abrams.
What are you doing, J.J.?
He's the guy. He's the man for the job.
Jurassic Park time.
Dude, he'd make such a good Jurassic Park movie. Because you would just forget about it after 2 minutes.
I honestly don't know if you can make a good Jurassic Park movie.
The first one's good.
I'm saying outside of that one. I don't think you can make another one that's good.
No, okay, you know what you can actually? And it's so easy. They just don't do it.
If you make it a horror movie.
Make it a horror movie.
You could, but they can't do that.
Why not?
Because it needs to be a broad action adventure movie for general audiences to make $1 billion.
Because people hate those.
Yeah, but a horror movie's never made $1 billion.
Okay, Jurassic World Dominion didn't make $1 billion.
It did make $1 billion.
No.
Somehow that movie that like very few people remember and
like no one saw that. How did that movie make $1 billion? Was it in America or was it like big in China or something?
It was big everywhere. People just
No, it wasn't.
People love these. People love. I don't know why. People love the Jurassic World movies, dude. They all made $1 billion.
Why?
I don't know. They just love dinosaurs.
What was the second one about?
The island exploded, and then there was a black market dinosaur auction and a clone girl, and she lets them all out of the facility.
Oh yeah, there was a clone.
Yeah. Remember when it became about cloning and evil locusts?
Why was there a clone?
Remember in the third one when there was a swarm of evil locusts?
Was the clone in the third one?
Yep.
Did he do anything?
I think her like DNA was like the key to a laboratory or something. I don't remember.
Remember when Bryce Dallas Howard goes, "Chris Pratt, where are you?"
Yep.
Her job.
Remember when they drop her in the woods?
Oh yeah.
And
well,
then,
that wasn't the woods. That was like an ice field.
And then she gets chased by a dinosaur.
A slightly more accurate Velociraptor hunts her down, even though it's like still totally inaccurate.
That movie's terrible. Oh my god, Jurassic World Dominion is so bad. None of those. That's what I'm saying. The Jurassic Park is like a classic. It's like a classic movie. And then the rest of them are literally all bad. Like none of the Lost World is okay, and then the rest of them are just actually terrible.
There's the one where they go, Alan. That scene's pretty iconic. That one clip.
I also don't understand.
One clip does numbers.
I also don't understand not bringing back like any of the stars of this. Like you're not going to bring back.
They
Chris
won't
Pratt?
say yes.
Why would he not say yes? He'll do anything. If you'll do Jurassic World Dominion, you'll do anything.
Okay, but okay. Well, like that series had not reached peak stupidity yet. Like before Dominion came out.
I would say
Dominion was worse
Dominion
than the
was
second
peak stupidity. But Fallen Kingdom was like as close as you could get.
Fallen Kingdom was really dumb.
There was a clone girl.
But there was like
in the dinosaur movie.
You're making genetic copies of dinosaurs, making a human, that's not that far of a stretch.
What did it have to do with anything?
Like that's not too much of a stretch. Like I can be like, okay, there's this like clone girl. Sure.
He genetically engineered a dinosaur that could attack people that you pointed a laser pointer at. But why would you not just
why not just use a gun? Who knows?
Why would you even need the dinosaurs?
I don't know.
What are they
A
for?
dog can also do that.
You have guns.
But that's like, all that stuff is stupid. But like,
why was that their plan?
The dumbest part is the locusts. For sure, that's the stupidest.
Yeah, that was the dumbest pivot of all time.
And you know what? I'm gonna defend the locusts for once. Like, reviving dead plagues and using those as weapons makes way more sense than using laser-primed velociraptors. Infinitely more sense. If you bring back, like, a disease from, like, 1,000 years ago that there's no cure for, and you, like, use your gene-modifying magic to make it target, like, a specific country or something, that would make way... Or, like, you know how the locusts only targeted certain crops? Yeah, like, you could weaponize that. That would make sense. That would be an effective weapon. The Velociraptor would never be an effective weapon.
What would you use that for?
So actually, you know what?
Maybe Fallen Kingdom 1 was peak stupid.
Fallen Kingdom was peak stupid, actually. I've changed my mind. The locusts weren't actually that dumb.
It's only up from here, then. It can only get smarter.
No, it can't.
No,
well, it could.
This movie's not going to make this date. They're going to have to push this back. There's no way it's meeting July of next year. They have no director, and it's
like, okay.
They need to start shooting this 2 months ago.
You know how, like, parrots can, like, mimic human voices, right?
Parrots?
Parrots. Birds.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Horror scene. Right?
What? Where are you going with this?
You change the dinosaur lore, because it's all made up anyway.
Yeah.
You just be like, Velociraptors can do that.
Can talk?
Yeah. But, like, they can only mimic stuff, right? You have a scene where, like, there's a little girl in a house going downstairs for a drink of water. He hears her mom's voice from the bedroom, but the lights are off. And then she comes up, because she's like, Mom, are you okay? She goes up there, boom, head gone. That would at least be like...
Now you're just making Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, but it's got dinosaurs, so it's cool. But, like, that could be a scene. Like, that would be at least interesting.
No, you have to do... Again, I think I said this last time. If you do a movie where it's like dinosaurs are running around New York and you have to, like, escape an apartment building while the dinosaurs are attacking.
So you want Ghostbusters.
Or just, that's fine. That works.
Wait, so
but they have to do a movie.
Your pitch is Dinosaur Busters.
No, I'm not saying there's Dinosaur Busters. I'm just saying you do.
Okay, but that would actually be a better pitch.
I'm saying all you have to do is a movie where you just have, it's like a core group of characters and they have to survive while a bunch of bloodthirsty giant lizards are eating people. Like, that's all you have to do. But instead they have to turn it into this, like, Indiana Jones ripoff, globe-trotting science corporation evil plan. They're always building another park full of dinosaurs for some reason.
A Quiet Place is the tone that I want. The tone of A Quiet Place, I think, would be the perfect tone for a horror dinosaur movie.
Get John Krasinski and he...
Like, you don't have to have the whole, we gotta be quiet thing. But, like, there's a bunch of big monsters.
Yeah,
society's on the brink of collapse. They eat people.
Yeah.
They're, like, basically immune to most conventional weaponry.
We gotta find a place where there's no dinos so we can live and not die.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Like, that is at least an interesting idea.
But
no. They're gonna do the dumbest thing.
This movie's gonna be, there's another evil corporation named Biology Synthetics, and they built a big dome park full of dinosaurs.
Remember
and
at the beginning of the movie
out.
where they're like, dinosaurs are everywhere and it's ruining everything.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the movie, we're like, dinosaurs are
They're
everywhere.
fine.
And it's
they became nice.
Okay.
We're good with
all.
We're all cool now.
It's like, no, what do you mean?
We all smoked a doobie and everything's
good. No, that's not good. No, I actually don't want a pterodactyl in my attic.
The movie has nothing to do with that too. It's this whole unrelated thing.
Yeah, like that wasn't.
And then at the end of the movie,
about.
After they've resolved this unrelated plot line, they're just like, "Oh, and by the way, all the dinosaurs are nice now. Bye."
Like what? Alrighty. Anyway, what's next?
Sam, Coyote versus Acme.
And again,
where it's back in the news. So it turns out that Coyote v Acme will not see the light of day after all. As Warner's third quarter earnings call is approaching, the studio is currently panicking over dismal results from the third quarter. So in order to help save face, they're going to take all the copies of Coyote v Acme, the movie, and destroy them, get a $35 to $40 million tax write-down. The studio had fielded offers from Netflix, Amazon, and Paramount. Paramount was actually willing to give it a theatrical release.
Dude, this makes me so
However,
mad.
Warner's insisted on a $75 to $80 million price tag to sell the movie, and what was described as a take it or leave it deal. However, the strategy was not made known to potential buyers when they submitted offers. So basically, is they said, "Hey, studios, we're selling Coyote v. Acme. You want $70 to $80 million for it." And then so some studios were like, "Okay, cool. Here's our initial offer, which is lower than your offer." And they went, "Cool. We're not doing that, and we're not going to negotiate. All right, that's it. That deal's off the table. We're done with that."
Okay, but that's like not even $70 million. That's not even a bad deal. Like that's basically
Apparently the movie costs like $75 million.
Yeah, that's like basically at cost. That's about at cost.
And they haven't marketed it, so there's no marketing budget.
Yeah, like now the movie would have made more than that. Pretty much for sure.
I don't know.
A family movie?
Maybe. It could.
There's no... What other family... Dude, Wonka's doing well now.
That's true. Wonka is doing well.
Dude. This movie would have been... This movie would have done okay.
And it tested very well. So apparently it was very good.
Yeah,
so.
It tested great. It's a family movie in a coal drought.
What makes no sense is this is exactly the thing that Warner Brothers wants. Like, this is an IP... This is moderately budgeted. This has got broad appeal. It tested well. And it's got, like, some talent attached to it. Like, this is everything you want. This is, like, what you keep asking for.
Dude, there was a guy that, at the restaurant I work at, that I took last time I was there. You know what he did the whole time on his phone?
What's that, Sam?
He was watching Looney Tunes.
How old was this man?
He was like 30, which I did think was a little weird.
That is weird.
But my point is, Looney Tunes, people still watch Looney Tunes sometimes. Mm-hmm. Their names are known.
Everyone loves Looney Tunes.
Like, okay, what was Alien? That's a dead brand. Bugs Bunny's unkillable. Bugs Bunny never dies.
You can't kill Bugs Bunny,
man. You can't. It's not. That's like killing Mickey Mouse. Not happening.
I don't know. Anyway, there's more stuff. So, The Wrap reported that the 4 executives who made the decision, which were Pam Abdy and Michael DeLuca, who are the heads of Warner Brothers Pictures, Bill Damashki, he's like the COO, and then David Zaslav, our good boy David Zaslav, CEO. Apparently, none of them attended an actual screening of the movie. So,
awesome.
DeLuca and Abdy saw an unfinished director's cut. That's all they saw.
Okay.
Damashki saw an audience test screening, so that was presumably also unfinished.
Yeah.
And Zaslav never saw anything. He didn't see the movie at all.
Within character.
Yeah. So most insiders are saying they never really made an effort to find new offers, and instead were just planning on dubbing the project from the beginning, which tracks.
They were waiting for the story to die down.
Yeah, and then they were just going to dump it.
And when did they dump it?
When the story died down.
The night of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
When obviously
this was a couple days ago.
Okay, a couple days before the Super Bowl. When obviously no one is going to care.
They waited for people to stop being verbal about it, and then they just...
Yeah.
They just shoved a pillow in its face and suffocated it. But no, like, this has got Will Forte. It's got John Cena. James Gunn executive produced this. The guy who's running your DC label executive produced this. It was written by Sammy Birch, who was literally just nominated for an Oscar for screenwriting. And you're just going to dump the whole movie for $40 million.
Dude, and it's not even like Batgirl, or Batwoman, where like the test screenings were all terrible
and it wasn't a finished movie.
Everyone didn't like it. Everyone seems to like this one.
Yeah.
And it has an all-star like
creative team. What makes no sense to me is you are self-sabotaging your own ability to sell the movie when you publicly say, we are willing to take $35 million from this thing and it never see the light of day. Because why would any studio offer you more than $35 million?
Yeah, you already said what the price
And even if they offer you 36, that's better than just getting the tax write-down.
Yeah,
why are you not just taking the offer?
It doesn't make sense to me. I really don't understand.
I honestly think the main reason they are just going to dump it is that they're scared that it might do well, and then they look like idiots.
They look like total idiots.
And so it's just safer if they take the guaranteed money and it just never sees the light of day.
So dumb. This is just so
until it gets leaked online in 5 years.
This is just so embarrassing.
Yeah, like this is just a stupid.
Who's the director?
I don't know his name. I can Google.
Whatever your name is, dude. save a copy of this movie to your hard drive.
Quick.
Like, immediately.
Yep.
Because remember with the Batgirl people where they like tried to do that and then it was deleted before they had a chance?
Dave Green. Get a copy
Save
of
it,
this.
bud. Download that thing.
Put it on your hard drive.
Do a little bit of a Deadpool test footage if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay? Anyway.
Just
that's pretty much it for
negative news story.
Yeah, just sad, stupid Zazzle
I would have
news.
watched that. It seems like something I would have
liked.
liked.
That actually sounds like an interesting premise.
Yeah.
That genuinely sounds like a fun movie.
Got John Cena in it.
And he's
You're not going to put the
he's
John
suing
Cena movie
Acme
out.
because all of Acme's stuff doesn't work. That is like... That is
Apparently
the
the other-
natural conclusion.
Apparently the other Looney Tunes were in it too.
That is the natural conclusion to the entire arc of every Roadrunner episode.
Yeah.
That is a hilarious premise.
Yeah.
And they're like, no.
And the other
We'd
part of
rather
this...
take a $40 million bath.
I think the other
instead.
part of this is that the last Space Jam movie did terribly.
Yes, because that was a stupid
But
idea.
that was also like... That movie was bad because it was what Warner Brothers wants all of their movies to be.
It was creatively
Which is just
desolate.
this vomit of IP where they just threw a bunch of nonsense and brands all over the screen. And we're just like, you love this. You love brands. Look at all these brands.
Remember when...
Remember
Rick and
Clockwork
Morty?
Orange? Remember Batman? Remember Rick and Morty? It was just that.
Remember when Looney Tune?
And like,
when LeBron
that movie did bad
James?
because of that.
Yeah.
But that's what they think the audience wants.
No, the audience does not like
They
it when you
think
do
they
that.
want every movie to be Space Jam: A New Legacy.
If we wanted that movie, we would have gone to see it.
I also love that movie is like the joke in that movie is that Warner Brothers is run by an algorithm that just tells them what to do. That is literally how Warner Brothers is run. That is literally how all of these companies are run now. Like we were talking about Dakota Johnson crapping on Madam Web and all of her press junkets. Like that's something she was saying. She was like, that's literally how they run stuff. They go to an AI and they're like, and they check the algorithm and they're like, would this property make money? Please do the math. And then they just make all of the decisions
whatever
based on the
calculator they're using to like determine whether or not a movie is a good idea is a very stupid and improperly tuned
It's
calculator.
also never going to make you like a hit. Like eventually you'll just burn out all of your brands, and then because you're so scared to take any risks at all, you'll have nothing to fall back on.
I'm sure we'll have more to say about that when we get to the Disney.
Yeah. Anyway, Sam, I know you were interested in this gaming story, rare piece of gaming news.
We finally have we have a piece of gaming news that's big enough that it actually made it to the top 5 stories of the week.
According to The Verge, Xbox is planning on moving select exclusives to Nintendo Switch and PS5 over the next several months. The first 2 games that are going to go multi-platform are Hi-Fi Rush and Pentiment.
Which Hi-Fi Rush will shadow drop after the next Nintendo Direct.
Which should be due any day now.
Pretty much any day now. Because assets from the Direct leaked, and one of them was... It literally says like Hi-Fi Rush Shadow Drop.
There's also been heavy rumors surrounding internal discussions over bringing games like Starfield and Indiana Jones, PlayStation, along with Sea of Thieves, which they are planning on going multi-platform with later this year. Apparently, large delays in the 2022 release calendar was really what crippled Xbox this whole cycle. That and the massive underperformance of Game Pass led to the complete reconsideration of all of their methods.
Yeah.
They bet really big on Game Pass. They were really going in on Game Pass, and it just has not turned out to the scope they wanted.
Because it is too expensive to keep up the level of growth they were wanting to see.
Yeah, so they wanted 100 million subscribers by 2030.
Which I think is not even an unreasonable goal.
However, they only have 33 million and it's 2024.
But that's because when they were at their peak, they just gave up completely. Like, other than Starfield, name another big game that came to Game Pass.
Yeah, that was a big problem for them, was that whole they basically had nothing in 2022.
Yeah, like Power World is really big, and that's on Game Pass. But that was not something they planned for at all. That just randomly happened.
There were in this Verge article, they talk about how Phil Spencer was sending out emails where he's like, literally, we have 16 months without a major first-party Xbox release.
Yeah.
We have a full year and a third of nothing.
That is unprecedented, unheard of, and unacceptable. It's insane.
Town hall was held last week where company executives addressed employees and reassured them that Xbox hardware was staying for the long haul, despite concerns. However, questions are being raised in the industry about the long-term relevance of Xbox, as the PlayStation 5 has already won this generation by far. It's doubled the sales of the Xbox X and S.
Not even
combined.
remotely close.
So I know you wanted to talk about whether or not they would just like become a software developer.
I think they might go the way of Sega. Because this is exactly what happened to Sega. Beat for beat, shot for shot, the same game. They have a single exclusive. It's not doing well, hasn't been doing well for some time. Everything that they've tried, every new title they've made, fallen flat on its face. They're not moving the consoles they want to move.
Yeah.
Their IPs are losing out to the IPs of their competitor. In this case, it's Sony instead of Nintendo. But it's beat for beat the same game.
I mean, they're even losing to Nintendo right now.
Yeah.
I mean, Nintendo, the Switch has outsold the PS4, PS5, and the Xbox One and S.
Yes, but the Switch is kind of in a league of its own.
Yeah.
We're not really counting
I think
that.
if you combine... it might even... Switch sales might even be combined if you combine PS4 and PS5 together. I think it might have sold both.
The Switch is doing like almost PS2 number.
Yeah, I think it's...
It hasn't beat
It might pass the DS. I know it's past the Wii.
Yeah,
It might pass
the
DS
Wii,
is to PS2 is 1. But like either way, yeah, they've lost this generation. Like no one owns an Xbox Series X.
Yeah, I know one person who they don't use it.
Yeah, it's so strange to me that they've bought all these studios and just none of them can put out games at all.
That is the weirdest part of this to me.
It's like, how are they not getting
How did they
anything out?
spend so much money on so many different studios only to have them do nothing?
And obviously, I'm sure COVID played a large part in this, but that was several years ago now.
And they did a bunch of acquisitions before COVID.
But like,
they bought Rare.
Nintendo put out stuff.
What has Rare made since they bought
Rare has just been running Sea of Thieves. Rare has been running Sea of Thieves for like 5 years now.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, they bought these companies and gave them nothing to do.
Or they didn't. They're not doing anything at all. Like, honestly, this whole console generation has been slow in terms of games.
Yeah.
PS5 and Xbox. And I think part of that is just the fact that they're taking an absurd amount of time to make.
Games are just too big now.
They're way too big. But like, you think about it, I mean, I have a PS5. I've played one PS5 exclusive on it. I played Spider-Man 2.
I have played on my Xbox one exclusive game.
Yeah.
And it's Halo.
Like,
the Xbox game. And
that's it. Sony's put up, what? God of War, Ragnarok, Spider-Man 2.
Last of Us Part 2.
That was last gen, technically. Like, that's
but
really
it. It was the dual.
But like, those are their two big games. Like, you think about all their IPs. I mean, there was a Ratchet and Clank game, I guess. I mean,
Spider-Man, Miles Morales.
The only studio that's been active for PlayStation this generation has been Insomniac. Insomniac has been cranking stuff out.
And they've been cranking stuff out, and they've made 1.5 games.
Yeah, and every other studio that Sony's doing is just eating Twizzlers and sitting on the toilet all day. I don't know what they're doing.
They're the biggest, most ham-slamming studio, and they've made 1.5
Like, what is Naughty Dog doing?
Remaking The Last of Us again.
At one point, Naughty Dog was making The Last of Us and Uncharted 3 at the same time. And it's been 4 years. Okay. They've made no games.
But consider this.
All of Naughty Dog has made no games.
What if I remake The Last of Us? Would you buy it again? If I remake that remake, would you buy that one? Okay, so after you buy that one, if I remake it again, would you buy that?
Remake the sequel?
Yes.
Can I pay $70 for both separately?
Yes.
And I'm on board. Actually, what are they doing? And I know Neil Druckmann is like occasionally walking out and doing an interview where he's like, maybe Last of Us 3 is happening. But like,
no, it isn't.
Well, it's going to happen. It's going to happen at some point. But like,
yeah, but it's not happening this generation.
Where's your new IP? Where's your new Uncharted?
Just new something.
I know they were doing that Last of Us online game that got canceled. I'm sure they worked a long time on that.
That was never going to be a big game. That never made any sense.
Come on, what are you doing? Where's your new IP?
You know what?
Make a new thing.
It's because Call of Duty died.
Call of Duty hasn't died. It's doing fine.
No, but like creatively it died.
Was Call of Duty ever a creative powerhouse? Let's be honest.
At one point, Call of Duty was actually like a next-gen game. Like, it was every game was the flagship.
Third parties have been
game.
doing some stuff. We got Elden Ring.
Elden Ring was like 4 years ago.
I know. I'm saying like it was not that long ago.
It was like 3 years ago. It was a
two.
while ago.
But like, Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate 3 is
It's good, but like
Baldur's Gate 3
these
is
are not
massive.
but these are not
it outsold Zelda.
These are not like where's the big games? Like why are they not putting stuff out?
Okay, you need to play Baldur's
either
Gate
of these
3.
studios, right? Like Xbox has one active studio and it's Bethesda.
And they suck.
And even they're putting out one game every 2 years.
No, they put out one game every 20 years, and that game is only good with mods.
I'm trying to say actually Bethesda is the only Xbox studio working and Insomniac is the only PlayStation studio.
But
working.
you're right.
How did we get to this point?
You're correct. Bethesda is the only Xbox studio making games, and they have made 2 games in the last 11 years.
Well, they've put out Doom and they've put out Indiana Jones comes out this year. They put out Starfield.
I'm talking about like flagship games.
Elder Scrolls 6 is never going to come out.
Doom 2 Doom 2 was not. That's like a studio Bethesda owns, right?
I'm counting that as a Bethesda.
I'm thinking like mainline,
like first party
Bethesda on the box type game.
I mean, they put out Starfield, but like, where I don't understand how these companies are not putting out games at like a decent pace.
I think this generation.
I don't know how it's this much slower than the last gen.
I think this generation is technically like the game development cycle is the most demanding it's ever been. Like these consoles are very powerful.
You think it would get easier as it gets more powerful?
No, but it's PC prices have just recently gone down. And this is important because no matter how good your console is, the programmers who make the game are using computers. And if your computers are expensive, it's going to take longer to make bigger games because those computers have to be really good computers in order to make really big games. And I think that combined with the console generation being a very demanding generation.
I don't know, it's just
with COVID, I think that kind of set this whole generation up to.
It's odd to me because the leap from last gen to this gen was the smallest
it's ever been.
It's the smallest console generation leap ever.
To be clear, it always is the smallest. Because computers always get better. It goes like this. It only gets so good.
Spider-Man 2, for example. Spider-Man 2 runs at the same frame rate as the first Spider-Man game. The same resolution, and it's shorter.
But there's more cars on the road.
But it took longer to make. Like, that doesn't make sense.
Okay. Resolution and frame rate kind of don't matter for, how demanding a game is. Because, if your game is running at 60 frames per second on one console and 60 frames per second on another console, but that console is doing ray tracing, one of them is going to be way more demanding at 60 frames per second. Same goes for resolution. So the frame rate and resolution are not the best benchmarks, but when you talk about I'm talking about the technical, hardware required to run the game.
Spider-Man 2 came out unfinished.
Yeah,
and it had a longer development cycle. Right? I don't understand how this is happening. Why are these games taking so long?
I mean, even Nintendo. Why on earth did Tears of the Kingdom take so long?
Tears of the Kingdom had the longest development cycle ever for a Zelda game, and it was an asset reusing sequel.
Yeah, it uses this now. It's a
how long are they? They're going to take 10 years for the next one.
Double the size of the map and a bunch of other stuff, but it should not have taken that long.
I mean, yeah, it shouldn't. Why is the new Mario game taking 7 years?
Well, we got Wonder,
but that's not. I'm saying 3D Mario.
Yeah.
Where is Odyssey 2? It's just not there.
Where's Mario Iliad? Where'd it go?
We're in an odd generation too, because video games are the biggest they've ever been right now.
And there's the least,
and it feels like there's just way less going on than there was in the last gen.
I don't know if that,
that might just be
us. Yeah. Cause
I'm less plugged into the gaming stuff as I used to be.
And the other thing is,
I just don't play as many games.
We said this kind of as a downside a minute ago, but games are way bigger now.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say which
I kind of hate.
You're the average gamer. You buy maybe 2 games a year, right?
Yeah.
If you buy Elden Ring and Baldur's Gate
Yeah, that's all you're
That's
playing.
like 600 hours of games. You're good for the year.
Yeah, I think the fact that every game feels like it needs to be open world now is just extraordinarily injuring the gaming industry.
I still have to beat Ganon. I still haven't done that yet. I've done literally everything else.
This is a guy who put like 500 hours into Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. Like, that's weird. What's going on? Why can't I do that? Why haven't I done that? 2, Baldur's Gate. I've put like 100, maybe 200 hours in Baldur's Gate. I'm still not done. I'm in like the last act. I'm in the third part of the game. But that is a huge game. And I when did I get that? I got it like when it came out almost. Like
spring of last year.
No, it wasn't spring. It was like fall, I think. But like that's taken me like 4 or 5 months to do this game. Still not done with it.
Yeah.
I'm playing Mario Wonder has actually been very. I've been completing.
I've been turning that one on every now and then, just as like a casual sit down.
That game's not very that game's very short as far as I can tell.
I like that.
Like
game.
I'm almost done with it.
That's a good.
But I'm okay with that because I don't have time to play it for very long. And then
I've been using that as like my wind down.
Yeah, I
put on a YouTube video, eat some crackers, play some Mario.
Whenever I have like 5 or 10 minutes, like maybe like in between classes or in between
playing a Mario
table at Joe's, I'll do a level of Mario. But
Are you talking about like open world games and how long
I've this whole time I got Persona 5 for like $20 on like a Black Friday sale on Steam. I've been wanting to play that game for years. I was waiting for it to come out on Switch. By the time it did
finally come out
on the Switch now.
Okay.
But I don't care because I got it for half off on Steam. And it's free on Game Pass. I just wanted to play it portably. Because I know I'm not going to have time to finish it otherwise.
Sam bought a Steam Deck.
I have a Steam Deck. That's what I've been playing Baldur's Gate on. They know that. But like, there's just not. The games are too big.
Yeah,
games are too big now. And I'm going to want to replay Baldur's Gate because that game has like a billion, trillion.
They're
choices.
either open world games that take 800 hours to play, or they're always online looter shooters built on a battle pass.
Yeah,
that's every game now. Except for Mario Wonder. They're all that.
Except for Nintendo sometimes.
Thank God for Nintendo, dude. Thank God that Nintendo was perpetually stuck in 1996.
Such a good bit. Starting to modernize.
I know, I hate it.
Little by little.
Little by little.
They're getting there. And it's making me mad.
I think the fact
Why
that
is Splatoon always on? It doesn't. There's a camp.
You can play the campaign offline.
Why them guys always talking to me in the lobby?
The second Smash Bros. Or Splatoon develops a battle pass, I think I might just stop playing video games.
If they add a battle pass to Smash Bros, I'm gonna mail some suspicious packages to the Nintendo headquarters. I'm gonna tell you that.
Don't
test them for arsenic.
Like if that ever actually happens, I'm done. Like I just won't play games anymore.
I'll just replay.
I'm good.
I'll just replay my old games.
Yeah, honestly, I have so many games just sitting on my shelf that I have not played.
You still haven't played Elden Ring.
I still haven't played Elden Ring
or Baldur's Gate.
Oh, I'm never gonna play Baldur's Gate.
Why not?
It's like 400 hours.
It's good.
I'm never gonna play that.
It's so good.
No, I have so many games I haven't played. Thank God I finished Spider-Man 2, but Spider-Man 2 is super short.
I haven't finished Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Yeah, that game's like 4 hours long.
I haven't had time to finish it.
That's like, you could play that in
I started it over Christmas break.
I literally played that game in one day.
I haven't had time because I've been playing Baldur's Gate and that game's way too big.
The gaming industry's in a weird spot. And I think if Xbox drops out, I think it's only going to get worse.
It'll get worse.
It'll get so much worse.
This is the main thing I wanted to talk about. We kind of went off on a bunch of tangents. But like, that's the main thing I want to talk about.
Yeah.
If Xbox goes away, gaming will get so bad.
Because PlayStation will have a monopoly on console gaming. I think the fact that there is PC will help it a little bit, but the whole PC, like console gaming is for the casual gamer.
The reason why any PlayStation exclusive go to PC ever is because Xbox games were on PC.
Yeah. Then they're trying to compete.
If they don't have to
but
do
yeah,
that,
no, it'll get worse. Game one just straight up game prices will get
Game prices
more expensive.
will go higher because you have to buy our game, so we're going to make it $1 million.
So will console prices. I mean, talk about games.
The only reason why the
games are going to get worse because the quality can be lower and it won't affect it.
The only reason why the PS5 is the price that it is
because of the Xbox.
It's because Xbox fired first and they chose to be the same price as the Xbox.
That's how it's always how it's worked.
Yeah.
I mean, the PlayStation 4 was cheaper than the Xbox One.
The next one will
because they wanted to undercut Xbox. Like
the
that was the
PlayStation
whole
6
reason.
will be $800.
Probably, yeah. I would honestly be. I wouldn't be shocked if they
if
they just straight up
inflation
started
keeps
doing
going like at the rate it is right now, it'll be $1,000.
I mean, iPhones are $1,000. I'm honestly
Okay,
shocked that the PlayStation 5.
But
was
iPhones have been $1,000 since 2017.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm honestly
Yeah.
shocked it's taking this long for these consoles to get up in that price.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the same thing with games. The fact that games were $60 for like 15 years is incredible.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's actually incredible.
Like that was really expensive in like 2010.
But dude, you got to like 2018.
Nowadays, dude, $60 for Baldur's Gate is crazy.
That's a great deal.
That's an insane. $60 for Elden Ring is crazy.
Yeah. $60 for Zelda is crazy. I mean,
well, it's not. It's 70.
It's 70. I'm saying like Breath of the Wild. Like
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild is like 500 hours a game, and you $60 for it. Like that's nuts. I mean,
yeah.
we have been living in a golden era,
we have not
golden
been
age
appreciating the golden age
of gaming
that we've been living in. And you know what? Honestly, I think in a lot of ways,
I think we'll look
the
back
current
on
gaming landscape is the best it has ever been. Nintendo is releasing the best games they have ever made.
Sony's making bangers.
Sony is releasing banger after banger, and their console is great.
Xbox,
the PS5 is a great console.
It is.
The Xbox is a great console. There's just no games on it.
Yeah.
And I mean, Game Pass, even though like it kind of fell off a little bit, is still
it's a great service. It's an amazing deal. Yeah.
I mean, they just released the new Persona remake on there. The Power World, the game that like blew up randomly, it has like 10 million players on Game Pass. That's a third of Game Pass users on there.
I think in a lot of ways, our doom and gloom attitudes about the whole entertainment industry have really overshadowed the fact that we have, movies aside, we have been living in a renaissance of media.
Oh, for sure. Like
in terms of gaming and especially television.
The like first 2 years of Disney Plus, I mean, bangers left and right.
Like internet, YouTube culture. I mean, we've been taking YouTube for granted for 15 years. We're getting all these OG YouTubers retiring.
Yeah.
Like it's the end of an era, I think, just in general for media as we kind of go into the 2020s.
Yeah, because streaming is
a lot of things are going to change.
Is getting way worse.
It's only going to get horrible. Worse.
Because like when streaming started, every show was like pretty good, and like the prices were really good. Yeah. Now the prices are not great, and the shows are getting worse pretty bad
because we have to make more of them.
Yeah. Okay. The market was way out of whack. In our favor.
Yeah.
To be fair,
consumers have been eating good since about 2008. Winning.
But we're about to hit a wall here.
Yeah.
Because right now, consumers have the least amount of money they've had since the Gilded Age in like medieval Europe. That's not good. And prices are going up. So that's not good. So I think we are very rapidly approaching a wall. And I don't think these studios know what to do.
Well, what's going to happen is as we slowly transition gaming into being a streaming based thing, the services are going to get higher priced. The games are going to be worse, and especially if there's no competition, I mean, it's only going to become a worse problem.
I saw a meme on TikTok the other day, and it was really dumb, but it's kind of not dumb. You know the line from Oppenheimer where he's like, "When I came to you with those calculations, we thought we were going to end the world."
Was it that Fortnite meme?
It was that, but it was they just pasted Fortnite over Oppenheimer's face.
Or it was and
it's like when we added a battle pass.
The guy who
Fortnite,
suggested adding a battle pass to Fortnite in 2017.
Honestly,
that's going to be every game.
Destroyed all of gaming. And I'm being hyperbolic. But it destroyed basically every online game.
Yeah. That was the model. I mean, it changed the game.
Yeah. And that's what that's what Game Pass is.
Yeah, is Fortnite.
It is the battle pass for your console.
Yeah. And in 10 years it'll cost $80 a month.
Yeah.
Because you won't buy games.
It's crazy that Game Pass and Netflix are the same price. Like, think about the amount of content hours you're getting out of a game compared to, like, a TV.
Yeah.
Like, if
you... But there's a million games on Game Pass. I was going to say there's so much stuff on Netflix. Equal the value, but there's, like, a lot of games.
And I would argue the average game on Game Pass is better than the average show on Netflix.
That's
80% of the
probably true.
Netflix library is like complete trash.
If you try to delve deeper than what Netflix shows you on the homepage, it's trash.
If you scroll past the first 4 rows, it's
all
all garbage.
trash.
It's all bad.
You're like, you open up Netflix and you're like, ooh, Better Call Saul, Heat, Breaking Bad, Stranger Things. This is some good stuff. And then you get like one level deeper,
Money
and
Heist?
it's like,
What?
apparently Money Heist is good.
Yeah, I've heard it's good too.
But you
it
get
has a
one,
stupid
and
name,
it's
so I'm
like
making fun of
Love on the Spectrum season 4. F Boy Island. It's like that. It's
Me
just
and
like
Max watched.
it gets just. It's like this iceberg of
Me
trash.
and Max watched all 5 episodes of Down for Love. That shit, dude.
I know what it's about.
That show's crazy.
All you have
that
to tell
show
me
is
is
nuts.
the title.
Yeah, it is wild that they
my
made that
God.
show. I'm not gonna get into any details because
For obvious
reasons. But dude, I gotta recommend it. It's kind of insane.
I mean, we've been eating good for too long. It's time for us to pay the piper.
Yeah,
Good thing we
the
killed.
toll, the bill comes due,
And it's our fault. Like, I mean, everyone fully embracing
no,
streaming.
we are the consumers are just going to do.
They're just
whatever
gonna follow the market.
the
yeah.
least amount of money for whatever the best service is.
Yeah.
Oh, like pretty much, generally on average, that's always what happens.
Equilibrium.
Yeah. So like, this whole thing is a product of early 2000s internet culture,
Yeah, pretty much.
where it was raise a bunch of venture capital first, figure out how to make money later. And the problem is, not a single company figured out how to make money.
And there's only one way to guarantee you'll make money, and that is jack up the price.
Yeah, like Google to this day still doesn't really know how to make money very well.
Because what even is Google?
Like they make a lot of ads and they sell your data, but like that's not super profitable. Like they're a multi-billion-dollar company, but like for the cost of their operation, they're not making a super ton of money.
Yeah.
Same with Microsoft, less so because they actually were a real company before the internet happened. But like, same with Netflix. Same with, but name any internet company.
Yeah.
It's probably the same.
Never Amazon. Amazon figured it out.
Yeah, but anytime you're selling hard goods, anytime you're selling goods, it's gonna be more profitable. But like for any company that's not selling you a good, those are the companies that none of them have figured out how to make money.
Because also,
YouTube's been operating at a loss forever. Spotify's been operating at a loss forever. Every internet company has been operating at a loss
and
forever.
just advertising in general has changed so much. Like what advertising is like. I mean, if you went into like a marketing course in 2010, the stuff you would learn then doesn't apply to anything that's going on now. Like the way advertising has changed, everything has to be short and fast and memorable.
Ads just don't work anymore. Like, there's no... except for the Super Bowl, which look how high of a premium they charge for that because they know this. But aside from the Super Bowl, there is no way to guarantee that an ad will stick with a consumer.
And I think it's because Hollywood did this really good thing for the consumer, and that was innovate itself out of relevancy for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Where like they were like, hey, here's a service where you can watch every show ever made for $9 and there's no ads. And then they've just realized recently,
wait a minute.
Why are we doing that?
We were charging $80 for this before.
And there was ads on it.
How do we make it the same as before? You don't. And they just I say they just figured this out, but they haven't just figured this out. Because every company
was always the plan.
Every company was like, no, I can do it by myself. I can not only will I charge $6 a month, but I will also have 1/80th of the library. It's like, no, you're insane for thinking that that's a possibility.
We'll get into more streaming stuff.
Yeah,
we got to move on to the next story.
So how far? We're good actually.
What are we at?
We're at like 145, 142.
Okay. So Disney had a big investor call this past week. Bob gave his State of the Union address.
Dude, it's crazy that like billionaires have State of the Union.
Disney is currently in the middle. If you didn't know this, Disney is currently in the middle of an internal board of directors war.
You know what?
There's 3 different sects, and they all want control over the board of directors. So there's a lot of corporate infighting going on. So a lot of stuff came out of this investor call just to distract from that and to look like Bob Iger was doing a good job.
This is just a side thing. But like it's There are probably genuinely more people who know more about Disney from this investor call than there are people who know like what the current American policy are on different issues from watching a State of the Union address.
Are you saying this phone call was more effective than the State of the Union?
Yeah. How many people have you seen talk about like Moana
how many people
2
watch the State of the Union?
Well, exactly. That's
Maybe
yes,
5
exactly my
million
yes.
people?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, all old people who aren't online.
Exactly. Anyway, continue.
Anyway, so Bob says that the company has made a misstep in spending large sums of money on and creating such a high volume of content for streaming, which caused a lot of low quality content to be released, which hurt the brand.
Okay,
he says they want to refocus into taking advantage of more profitable linear revenue channels alongside supporting Disney Plus and Hulu services. Now,
that is
the fun thing about this,
the wrong assessment,
is that Bob blames the company for doing this. However, this was Bob's idea.
Yes.
Disney Plus is his baby. When he retired in 2020, the whole point of launching Disney Plus in 2019 was like this was his legacy. Like this was his final gift to the world.
Bob might be the most genius business of all time.
And then he created a series of problems and then demanded that they make him come back to fix them.
Yeah, okay. Not only did he do that, he created a series of problems that initially looked like a huge win.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave it to the next guy. He's like, just for you.
Mm-hmm.
Just for you. And then other Bob was like, oh my God, this is actually terrible. Oh no, what do I do? And then the overlords were like, we deem you unworthy. And they banished him to the Shadow Realm. And then they were like, who do we call upon to fix these problems?
It's Bob.
Bob comes back. Boom. Spotlights blasting. Yeah. Shoes. Boom. Boom. Clacking in the hallway. He's got a cape on this time now. I can fix it. And then even though, he caused all of these issues.
He caused all of the problems himself. He says Marvel Studios is going to slow down production. They're going to put out less stuff, and they're going to focus on the more successful IP, which my guess means Spider-Man, Captain America, or Guardians of the Galaxy, stuff people know. Star Wars is now focused on getting movies made and back into theaters, which tracks. They announced that Mandalorian and Grogu, the movie, is going to hit in 2026. So there's going to be 2 Star Wars movies that year.
Away.
Even though they're going to start shooting this year. Hey, that's fine with me. It means they're going to actually have time to finish the VFX on it.
No,
you don't want them to finish the VFX.
I want Star Wars now.
They're going to give you enough Star Wars, all right?
What are they?
They never stop giving you more Star Wars.
Bad Batch. What do we have other than Bad Batch until 2026?
Skeleton Crew.
That's not real.
Andor Season 2.
That's not coming out till 2025.
That's before 2026.
That's basically 2026.
Tales of the Jedi Season 2.
That's not real things.
What is the Acolyte?
We don't even have a trailer for that.
That had some leaked images the other day.
Okay, Acolyte might be real.
I think that
if Acolyte is real, I'll take it.
I think they're
I still don't believe Acolyte.
They shot the whole thing.
I don't believe it's real.
Anyway, Disney Animation and Pixar are going to create more sequels to already successful movies. As Iger stated, that's the only way to get audiences back in the theater.
That's what Pixar is really good at. Sequels. Every time Pixar makes a sequel, oh boy, that's a good one.
Toy Story 2.
Name one other good Pixar sequel.
Toy Story 3.
That isn't Toy Story.
Cars 2.
That movie's not good.
Cars 3.
That movie's okay at best.
Finding Dory.
That's not real. No one saw that.
Monsters University, a prequel.
People don't even... That's like not even related.
They made any other ones? Did I just list them all?
No.
Incredibles 2.
That movie sucked.
It's not good.
The other one.
Did they do anything else? They did something else?
There's another one, and it's really bad, but I don't remember what it is.
Planes? That wasn't them.
They made a sequel to Planes, though.
But they didn't make Planes.
It's in the Cars universe. That's them.
But they didn't. Pixar didn't make it.
That's them.
If they didn't do it, I will not place the responsibility of Planes on someone who doesn't deserve it, or rather, the burden of Planes. I think that's it. I think that's the only sequels they've done. Inside Out 2 comes out this year. Lightyear. Count Lightyear.
Damn.
That is bad, but do you count it? Toy Story 4. We forgot about Toy Story 4.
Toy Story 4's not bad. It's just...
Anyway, so he announced some upcoming movies. Zootopia 2. Gonna hit November 26, 2025.
Should have already made.
Which social issue do you think they'll tackle in the Zootopia sequel? They've done racism.
Racism.
More racism. I say homophobia.
Can't.
Trans issues.
Okay. You can do racism with animals, and you can have it be like these animals and these animals don't like each other. There's no metaphor if you do anything else.
Yeah, I mean,
because then it's just
got to be more
racism. Them and they are the thing. Like if you do homophobia, like it's gonna be a girl bunny and another girl bunny like each other. Like that's the same as real life.
Yeah.
You gotta like
just do more racism.
You gotta.
It's almost as like
you gotta make it a metaphor.
It's almost as like It's almost as if this premise only works in that one time, and that you're beating it and stretching it out.
I mean, you could do it again. I'm sure there's other issues in the Zootopia
what else
world.
Do you do? Like drug trafficking? It's a kids movie.
They did do that.
Exactly. They've already done the things. Like, what else do you do with the Zootopia universe?
There's just a different bad guy.
He's doing more crimes. I mean, that's what it's gonna be. Well, I don't know.
This time,
I don't know if those.
This time, the bad guy is a predator, and they were just correct.
I don't know if they'll be cops.
Yeah. No, they will. They will.
Please.
Yeah, but they like Judy cops though.
Okay. Those aren't people. Those are
no, but like the people had like. That was before 2020.
Yeah. I don't know
people
if you
had
can.
The attitude towards police has genuinely been
very bad. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you don't do police.
Because people
okay,
are
that's
mad
what
at
you
Brooklyn
do.
Nine-Nine.
Yeah, you Brooklyn Nine-Nine it.
Or it just turns into a thing about how corrupt.
Yeah.
Oh, the police force is corrupt.
The police captain is bad.
You're right. Yeah, boom, that's easy. Done. Movie.
And the police captain was like a bison, right?
I think so.
Yeah, it's a prey animal.
He was Idris Elba.
Because you can't have it be a predator, because then the racism is correct.
Well, he's voiced by a black.
That's okay. He's playing their metaphor for white person.
Sure,
so it's fine.
it works.
So yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, the police force is corrupt.
Wasn't he? Wait, was he bad already?
No, the mayor was bad.
Yeah, but I thought he was like in with the mayor.
The mayor was J.K. Simmons in that movie.
No, but the sheep
the lamb
was
the main villain. Yeah. I forget who that was. I think it was like Christian.
It doesn't matter. But my point is, I thought the police captain was like in on it.
No, because he's at the very end. He gives them like their jobs or whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what you do. That's the obvious.
Anyway, Toy Story 5 and Frozen 2 are going to release in 2026. They already said that we're going to Frozen 3 and Frozen 2.
I don't know, Frozen sucked.
Okay, but you're getting a Frozen 3 for obvious reasons.
They should have done dude. They need to just hire. Disney, just give me.
By the way, Toy Story 5 coming out in 2026. No. Toy Story 1 came out in 1995, which means 31 years of Toy Story films. 31 years.
Dude,
Andy is 40.
That's older than me.
Yep.
That's dumb. Dude, what? Why?
Your grandchildren are going to enjoy
Toy Story. Okay. Do you know how bad Toy Story 1 looks now? Have you seen Toy Story 1 recently?
It doesn't look that bad.
Okay, the toys look okay.
The people have always looked bad.
No, in Toy Story 3 and 4, the humans look totally passable.
I know, I'm saying in Toy Story 1, the humans never looked
good.
In
1 and 2, the humans look like freakazoids. They're like goblin creatures. That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't look good.
I mean, Tom Hanks and Tim Allen are ancient. They're like piles of dust.
Dude, just gotta... We have to have the same principle for Hollywood as we do for the government. We just gotta wait for the current generation to move on, and then we'll be okay.
Other announcements, Taylor Swift, The Eras Tour. Taylor's version.
There's a Taylor's version of the Eras Tour?
Uh-huh.
Did she do an Eras
It's going to
tour
release
before?
exclusively on Disney Plus on March 15th with 5 additional songs not seen in the theatrical or digital release. So there was Taylor Swift, The Eras Tour, the concert, right? They filmed that. It was a movie. Except for they had to cut out some of the songs to keep it like under 3.5 hours. And then they released that on digital, the Taylor Swift, The Eras Tour extended cut, which had some of the songs but not all of them. And now this is the Taylor's version, which has all the songs back in it. Gotta get those Swifties on Disney Plus. Apparently they paid like $30 million for this.
There's no appeal to that.
What, to there being more songs in it?
To listening to a Taylor Swift album on your TV.
It would be like the most pathetic thing of all time to like sit there and watch a concert on your phone alone.
That's so sad and cringe.
Yeah.
But like,
You're a loser if you do that.
no, but like, there's something sad about
Maybe
that.
if you're watching with like your
Like
pals.
if you're watching a movie at home, that's one thing. But like, this is a concert recording.
The
You're
appeal
supposed
is like
to see this with a big crowd.
other people there.
And like a movie theater, it's still like, okay,
there's
it's
other
kinda weird,
people
but
there.
like at least there's other people there.
Oh, doing this in your home alone, like
Yeah, unless you invite a bunch of people, like the day. This is what will happen. They'll just have a bunch of people.
Swifties will have parties. Yeah,
the Swifties will have a big watch party the day it comes out. But if you watch it after that,
you're pathetic,
dude. What are you doing?
Yeah,
you own the album already.
You've
Just
already
listen
watched
to that
the
album.
movie.
It sounds better.
You're not watching this alone by yourself if you haven't already seen it. Like you're already a fan of Taylor Swift.
Yeah, like this. That just seems like kind of sad. Anyway, what's the next thing?
All right. The biggest announcement, well, one of them was Moana 2. So a surprise Moana sequel, which no one knew was happening, officially titled Moana 2, is going to hit theaters this year on November 27th.
Oh,
It's going to be Disney Animation's yearly big Thanksgiving movie.
we've
The project is, they've never missed a date.
never missed a date.
That documentary is the best thing Disney has made in like 10 years.
Every single person who watches this podcast, that should be mandatory viewing.
Yeah, it's
you need
called
to
Into
watch
the
that
Unknown.
before you watch this.
Called
all
Into the
the
Unknown,
podcasts.
the making of Frozen 2. It's on Disney Plus. It is the most.
It is the most eye-opening look into the Disney creative process.
I'm
you will
honestly
ever see.
surprised they let them release it.
We need to like download that because Disney will delete
it or edit it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so Moana 2 is coming November 27th this year. This did not begin production as a movie. If you remember back at the Disney Investor Day live stream, all the way back in
Last year,
December of 2020. Okay.
4 years ago.
4 years ago, they announced a Disney Plus series for Moana.
Yes.
Okay. Which was like not even started production when they announced it. And then they're moving along. They're making the show. Bob Iger walks into the office one day and goes, that animation looks pretty good. Let's make it a movie now. And so now they're taking, I guess, what is like 4 episodes of the Moana TV show and just gluing them together into a movie.
Yeah, and this does not
This does not bode well.
okay, this doesn't work for a couple of reasons. One, do you remember when they made a movie about a tribe of like water-faring people who live on an island and
Yeah, I remember Avatar 2.
No, this Disney made this before they owned Fox. Remember when they made a movie where there's a tribe of like water-faring people who live on an island, although this time the island was underwater, it was slightly different.
Atlantis?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And then do you remember Atlantis 2?
Yeah, the direct-to-DVD sequel.
And do you remember why?
Because it was bad?
It was 3 episodes of a Atlantis
Oh,
TV
the
show.
TV show. Yeah, that was
glued
most of the
together.
direct-to-DVD sequel.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So they're doing that again. So
Yep.
that's problem number 1.
But this is in theaters.
Yes. Problem number 2, you can scale 2D animation up to be a higher resolution without it being really an issue, because it's photographs of like at least at the time it's photographs of like a real object. You can't scale 3D animation the same way because you have to render it at a higher...
Yeah, I mean, the renders are already done.
Yeah, you have to render it again with higher levels of detail.
Which makes me think this is not going to
So
look
when you
very
make
good.
a show that is formatted for a TV screen or a cell phone screen, which the show definitely was, because that's what it was for, they're going to either have to re-render the whole thing with new models, because you have to make models with higher polygon counts to look better at a bigger size, or it just doesn't look super good. It might look okay.
They released
but
like
it probably won't look great.
15-second teaser.
Yeah, and it's like a silhouette of the main character.
It looks not great.
I don't know if we can judge it based on that. Like, that's such a nothing.
But
little
Moana
clip.
1 looks really good.
Moana 1 is still used to like gauge how good a TV
The water
is
in
today.
that looks real good.
Yes.
And then the water in this was like,
that's water, I guess.
I don't know. I mean, it's fairly obvious that they were like, we don't have anything ready to meet our normal date. What can we put here? They were like, I don't know. We got this Moana thing.
I finished this 2 seconds of animation yesterday.
Yeah,
Here we go.
I guess this is a movie
Yeah.
now. But it makes sense why they're doing this. Moana has been a top performer on Disney Plus since that service launched in 2019.
It was the highest streamed movie of the year last
It's
year.
topped the Disney Plus movie charts. It's topped the Nielsen streaming charts.
And it came out in what, 2018?
It officially passed 1 billion minutes viewed last year. I mean, it's always if you look on Disney Plus, it's always trending. People are always watching that movie over and over and over again.
That's because it was the last good Disney princess movie.
Yes.
Because Frozen 2 was not very good.
Encanto doesn't count.
Encanto doesn't count.
And that's the last.
Really a princess.
And that's the only other one they made.
Well, they made Wish.
Oh, that's true.
But
no.
So Moana is the last one.
Moana is the last one. That's true. Dave Jarek Jr., who was a storyboard artist on the original film, is going to direct the new movie. They haven't said who's writing it yet.
Crazy choice.
Alihi Carvalho, I think I said that name wrong. And Dwayne Johnson are officially both coming back as Moana and Maui.
Oh, they've confirmed that?
Yeah, their deals. They're working out their deals.
At the time of announcement, they had not confirmed that.
They didn't confirm it at the call, but Carvalho put out like a social media post that said she knew about it before. So I'm guessing she was involved. Apparently, I don't think Dwayne Johnson did, because they announced it and then like a day later, like he put out a tweet about it. So I don't think he knew this was going on.
I think I was watching a video or something. They were talking about neither of them had agreed.
Yeah, no, they didn't have deals
to be on board when they announced it. Yeah. And they've also recorded all of the lines already with different voice actors.
I'm guessing they're going to go back and
just re-record
There's
them.
no way you're going to put this out and it's not going to be The Rock and her.
Yeah,
if it's different voice actors, that's going to be a big no-no.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to have to go back and re-record all that dialogue.
Which sucks also for the people who are like, oh, I'm going to have a career now. And now you
yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you turn a TV show into a movie.
Maybe don't do that.
But Lin-Manuel Miranda is not coming back to do songs. Abigail Barlow, Emily Bear, Apatawi Fayoe, and Mark Mancina are going to do music and lyrics. My guess is this is just because they couldn't afford him to do the TV show.
No.
And so
it's because the songs are already done and he didn't do them.
Yeah.
So obviously he's not doing them because they're done.
This is the B team.
Yeah.
I don't understand why Disney has been cheaping out on the songs recently and all their stuff.
They've just been cheaping out in general.
The songs are way more important for the Disney brand than the movies themselves.
The movies are movies. The songs are their legacy.
Yeah, like those are like Disney music is bigger than like the Disney brand.
There are people who know the songs from Disney movies and don't know the movies they're from.
Yeah.
And that is like not an uncommon thing to find. Like those songs are in some cases generation defining pieces.
Yeah. I don't know why they've been cheaping out. Like when's the last time the Frozen soundtrack
Frozen 2 had like a couple bangers.
A couple.
Moana had some bangers.
But that was like your A team. You brought in Lin-Manuel Miranda to do that.
That was 6 years ago.
That guy who did Hamilton.
Yeah.
No, that was
2016. I thought it was 2018.
2016.
No, I thought Moana came out in 2018. When did Frozen came out in like 2015, right?
Frozen 1 came out in 2000.
Didn't come out in 2014.
12.
No, it did.
2011?
Frozen did not come out before Minecraft.
It did not come. Minecraft came out in 2009.
It came out in 2013 is when it released on consoles. When did Moana come?
I know Moana came out in 2016. Frozen 1 came out in 2013.
Oh yeah, I guess it was because it was the same. It was around the same time as the Lego Movie. I remember because people would be like, "Oh, Lego Movie for boys, Frozen girls."
We saw both.
Yeah. They were both good.
We saw Frozen 1. Us.
I thought Moana was 2018.
That's
crazy. Wait, was Frozen 2 to Frozen? No, Frozen 2 was
2019.
2019. Yeah, like end of 20.
Yeah, November. But I don't know. I think this will probably be a big enough hit. I mean, Moana's very popular.
Yeah. This movie will make money.
If it's got some catchy songs, it'll be fine. It'll make.
Do you think they'll include the theme song for the TV show in the movie?
I don't think that shows don't have themes.
Animated kids shows do.
Not really.
Yeah, they do.
What does?
Phineas and Ferb does.
Phineas and Ferb came out in 2008.
Yeah, but they still keep making stuff for it.
They are making 2 more seasons.
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob came out in the 90s.
But they still make new SpongeBob.
That's because they can't get rid of the intro.
Like, okay, what's a show that
New shows don't have
what's an animated
intros.
kid show? We just don't watch animated kid shows.
Yeah, 'cause
every
I'm
single one
not
on
10.
every single one on Disney Junior has a theme song.
Maybe.
All of them do.
I don't know.
They always have.
Well, I never fact check that, so
And they all
maybe
do.
you're right.
I mean, all the ones that we watched did at least.
What are you watching on Disney Junior?
No, like back when we watched it, like was it Jake and the Neverland Pirates or whatever? Like that song was, that song was a banger. That was heat. That was fire.
That was fire.
Bars.
Anyway, the next announcement. Disney has invested $1.5 billion
Fortnite news.
in Epic Games, the makers of Fortnite. The two want to collaborate on a, quote, games and entertainment universe that will further expand the reach of beloved Disney stories and experiences.
So wait a minute, hang on. You're telling me Disney wants to make content where the viewer can interact with it.
Yes.
You could say it's almost like a Disney interactive experience.
Presumably using some sort of console controller.
Perhaps maybe if we had a studio per se, maybe perchance called Disney Interactive. To maybe perhaps make video games.
Or
LucasArts, maybe perhaps perchance. Maybe haps.
So Iger was convinced to re-enter the gaming space.
But after he pulled out of it,
again, this is another thing where he was like, guys, I'm bringing Disney into gaming. He shut down the gaming.
Yeah, okay. He brought them into gaming.
Yep.
Went, game stupid. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And then went, maybe game not stupid.
He says what happened.
What?
He says what happened is that some younger employees at the company came to him and showed him how much time Gen Z and Gen Alpha are spending on gaming as in comparison to watching movies and TV and going outside.
I know exactly what they showed
And
him.
he was like, this is what we need. We need to integrate our brands into something that's for the kids.
No, I know the exact clip that they showed him.
What was that?
I think it was from like the Joe Rogan podcast or like some other podcast. But they're talking about like how Netflix's biggest competitor isn't Disney Plus, it's Fortnite.
Yeah.
They showed him that exact clip.
No, that's true.
And then he went, oh, how much does Fortnite cost? And then he invested $1.5 billion in Fortnite.
I was watching the thing in general was kind of pretty boring, but I was watching a roundtable interview with like a couple like minor Hollywood studio executives.
Yeah.
And one of them was Sam Register, who runs WB Animation. And he was talking about kind of the shifting demographics right now. And he said what's happening is that for animation, the audience for teenagers and up is growing. And so there's a larger shift towards animation for adults.
Yes.
And the audience for ages 1 to 8 is growing, which is the primary toy sales right now. But the audience's age like 8 to 13 is disappearing.
Yeah, it's gone.
And he was talking about how like that's a big thing right now in especially children's programming is what do we do? Because that is the core.
That's your brainwashing.
That's your 8 to 13. That's your kids who come home and watch Cartoon Network.
Dude, you think we would care about Star Wars if we didn't watch it when we were 8 to 13?
Like that was like the primary.
We'd be like, you gross.
And they're talking about how like they're losing that to YouTube and TikTok and Roblox.
Yeah.
Like that is where that audience is going. And so this is a smart thing to do. It's the fact that Bob Iger purposely stripped the company of its entire gaming division 8 years ago and has now realized that this market that has overcome movies and TV in its size and profitability
had already overcome them
when he took them out.
Yeah. Back in like, what was it, like 2015?
It was like 2015.
Yeah.
2016.
Well, when was it? No, it was after Mandalorian came out.
It was like mid 2016 was when he shut down Disney Infinity.
Because, yeah, they shut down Disney Infinity. They had already made a Mandalorian expansion for Disney Infinity 3.0.
No. There was no Mandalorian stuff.
No, they were making 3.0. The Mandalorian had an expansion in development.
They were making 4.0.
Or 4.0.
They were working on stuff for Moana and Cars 3. Because Moana hadn't even come out. It was all the way back then. Like, they shut down Disney Infinity, and then after that was when they sold off the rights to the Star Wars games for EA.
Yeah. And
they shut down LucasArts and all that. Like, he
all
was done.
Stellar choices.
Yeah, obviously. They've turned out great. It's been such a good decision, they had to go back and redo their EA deal so that Star Wars could be licensed to other companies. In terms of gaming?
No, just in general.
Disney?
Yeah.
Let's think. When did they hire Kevin Feige?
2008.
Like they've done things that have worked. Like they made a Frozen sequel. Are you saying like when's the last time like they had a really good idea, like product wise? Like was the last time they made a really
like
good,
when they made a good business decision.
like when they made like a really good corporate decision?
Yeah.
Firing Bob Chapek was smart.
Well, no, firing Bob Iger was.
Well, he stepped
They
down.
fired Bob Chapek because of Bob Iger.
Yeah, no, he caused all the problems.
That's what I'm saying.
God, when's the last time Disney made a sensible financial? I don't know. Would you consider the Fox purchase a sensible financial investment?
No, that was an evil decision.
I don't think it
will
did.
work out in their favor,
Honestly,
but that was like an evil decision.
But really, in the long term, has it worked out? Like the only thing that they've gotten from Fox that's worked is Avatar
and Hulu.
But other than that, I guess Hulu. But Hulu's not even like.
Hulu is one of the 2 streaming services that makes money.
They sell so many ads on Hulu, dude. They make so much money off Hulu.
2 streaming 2.
By the way,
out of the entire industry make money. That's one of them.
The other news out of this investment call was that Disney Plus is going to be profitable by it.
That's a lie.
They've cut down losses by like $20 million.
That is a lie
$20 billion.
to get investors on board. That is not true.
They're on track.
How on earth is that true?
You know why? Because they've way slowed down how much stuff they're making for it.
Okay. How many subscribers do they have? Like 85 million?
Because they've risen the price. They added ads. And they're not spending as much on it. That's how it's going to be profitable.
No, hang on. How many subscribers?
It's about halfway through the year. They're going to jack up the prices again. And they're going to continue to make less content.
Like 85 million, right?
Somewhere around. Or maybe 90 million?
Yeah, that's 85 million. Times... What's the price now? $11? $12?
And there, I think like 11, yeah. You love the sound of me eating ice really loud.
So that's about $1 billion.
What?
Like the current subscriber. Wait, that can't be true. 85 million?
I don't know you're doing that.
They don't have that many subscribers, do they?
85?
How many? Nah. No.
My calculator doesn't go that high.
How many subscribers does Disney Plus have?
Are you asking Siri live on the podcast?
Okay. Pops up. There's no way they have 150 million. There's no way.
150 million?
That's not true.
What, times 11? 150 million. It's paying $11 a month. Sorry,
can't be
I'm
right.
doing this math very slowly.
Yeah, no, you're good. That cannot be correct.
That's like, yeah, it's like over $1 billion.
That's a month.
1.6 billion.
Yeah, that means they're immense. Yeah, that can't be right though. Even if Disney Plus cost $5 billion a year to run, which it doesn't.
Guess they're selling a lot of ads.
No. But that's what like that. Those numbers don't add up. Because even if it cost them $5 billion a year to make content, and just pay for like server costs, $5 billion is a lot. A $200 million show.
No, but to make that much on it, that's like nothing. I guess it's a month.
No, yeah, you're making $1 billion a month. That's $12 billion a year.
Like
if it's $5 billion to run the service and make content, so which is like that's a conservative estimate. They should be way more profitable than they are. Like that just doesn't make sense. Like something's not right.
12. So that's like almost $20 billion a year in subscription revenue. And then if you add like ad sales on top of that,
yeah,
probably like $35 billion maybe. Like it's a really good year.
That's like way more money than they should, like, than they're saying. Like, that's not right. There's no way they're making that much money. Is one of the two things is true. Either they've been lying the whole time about how profitable
they're going to jack up the prices halfway through the year.
They're either lying about how profitable it is.
It's not profitable yet. It's going to be profitable by the end of the year.
They're either lying about that or their subscriber numbers are a lie. One of those two things is a lie. Those cannot both be true.
I mean, it could be true. I think Hulu's gonna be added on about in the summer, and
because I think they said it was a $6 billion investment to build Disney Plus.
Yeah, just like the infrastructure.
And then we'll throw another $6 billion for like content.
No, they spend more than that. They spend more than that on content. Yeah, way more.
She-Hulk only cost $200 million.
Buddy, but they're cranking out like, I don't think you realize how much crap
Fucker.
they were pumping out for Disney Plus.
$1 billion is 5 She-Hulks, and that's like their most.
They're making 5 Marvel shows a year.
Yes, but those don't cost $1 billion each.
But that's $1 billion total. That's just on Marvel stuff.
Yeah, but that's not like that. Marvel and Star Wars are their 2 biggest ones.
Yeah.
We'll say they spend $1 billion a year on each of those,
and
then they spend $1 billion on every other thing that they have on.
$2 billion.
That's only $3 billion in content then.
Yeah, I don't know.
If it was $6 billion,
there's some mischievous corporate accounting going on.
That means it was $9 billion. Let's say it's $9 billion in operating costs a year.
Yeah.
They're still making $12 billion a year.
Yeah, something's going on.
Something's not right.
I mean, we're bad. Neither one of us are good at math,
but like, we can see that something's not going. Something is not right.
Well, people say, I mean, it's easier to steal money from 200 million. Anyway,
I don't know. Yeah, something's off.
One last big announcement. Well, technically 2 last big announcements from the Disney investor call.
Oh, we didn't even talk about the Fortnite Island.
I mean, we did a little bit.
They're making a Disney park in Fortnite.
It's just gonna be Disney.
Mickey Mouse is gonna hit the grid.
It's gonna be like Fortnite festival, but with Disney brand.
Yeah.
ESPN is launching 2 more streaming services.
Oh, that's good.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Doesn't ESPN already have a streaming service? The answer is yes. By fall 2025, the ESPN brand will sustain itself currently 3 streaming services simultaneously. So the first one is going to be a joint service. So Sam, keep your ears open for this one. This is going to sound familiar to you. ESPN, the Fox Corporation, the parts that aren't owned by Disney, the Roger Ailes, not Roger Ailes. Who's the guy? Murdoch, the Murdoch stuff, and Warner Brothers Discovery are teaming up to launch a joint sports streaming service that will feature content from professional and college sports, including the NFL, NBA, MLB, college sports, UFC, and FIFA World Cup.
So what they have now?
Subscribers of ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Max will automatically acquire the service, which is targeting a late 2024 release window, with each company owning a third of the service. Now, Sam, I know what you're thinking. This sounds like cable. And it is.
Yeah.
It's cable. We've made cable, but on the internet. We've come full circle.
That was always
was always where we were going. If they're going to bundle for this, eventually these services are going to start being bundled together. And then we're literally just going to have cable bundles again.
The market exists at equilibrium. Equilibrium in 2005 was you pay $50 a month for cable.
More than 50. It was like
in 2005. It was like $60. It's like $80 now, but it was like 50 in 2005. So if equilibrium in 2005 was $50 a month, and we'll say 3 streaming services nowadays probably runs you about $50, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, we've reached 2005 equilibrium. It'll get more expensive because like inflation.
Eventually, we'll reach 2015 equilibrium.
Yeah.
Well, but on top of that, now you throw that internet bill because you're dependent on your internet.
Yeah, but you were paying for that anyway. They already do.
Well, now you're paying even more than you were in the internet.
Well, you just don't pay for cable.
But no, your cable is now your streaming service. But all your packaged together streaming services and your new streaming bundle plus. That's now
the price of internet just goes up.
I can't wait for when all the services combine and announce Cable Plus as a new streaming service. Anyway,
well, eventually Disney will just buy Universal.
That's never gonna. No, Paramount and Warner Brothers are going to merge, and so Paramount Plus and Max will become one service.
Yeah,
and then
that just leaves Universal,
and then it'll just be Warner Brothers / Paramount / Discovery plus Viacom, and that'll be against Universal and Comcast. Which will be Disney and Apple, right? When Apple buys Disney.
I don't know. They just sold off like their music library. That was really
who? Apple?
No, yeah.
No, they just had they had a fight with TikTok, but that was it.
No, but they also sold off their library recently.
No,
remember
Universal's owned by Comcast. They have infinite money.
I know, but then why did they sell off their library?
I don't know. They're doing weird stuff over there. Who knows?
I know, but that's weird.
No, Universal's gonna be fine. I mean, no, we're gonna get to the point where it's 3 companies. It's Apple, it's Amazon, and it's Comcast, and it's going to be those things.
Disney will beat Comcast.
Because Disney's going to get eaten by Amazon or Apple. So
what?
There was talk of Apple buying Disney like a couple of years ago.
Yeah, but people say that about every company and Apple.
Apple's going to
every year you write an art. If I'm a journalist and I'm hungry this month, I go, will Apple buy company
here?
And I make like 10K for the month, and I'm eating. Like, that's just what you do. Like, Apple's not gonna buy Disney. That's absurd.
They could.
Just like they're not gonna buy Nintendo. Why would they not buy Nintendo? Why would they not buy an actual Apple company?
I do think they're gonna buy Sony. I think that's going to happen eventually.
I don't think they want Sony.
If they're not gonna eat a more successful media company, why are they doing Apple TV Plus?
I don't think
if they don't have any long-term goals in that space, like, why are they doing this in the first place?
To realize they don't have any long-term goals and then exit.
Just to try, just to give it a wacky attempt for 10 years?
Actually, yes.
Just to see what happens?
Yes. No, Apple will do that sometime. Apple's one of the only companies that will just like do something
just decide
weird
to spend
and
billions
random.
of dollars on TV shows and movies.
Remember when they made a console and then just gave up immediately? Remember the Pippin? The Apple Pippin one?
It's weird that they're not giving up immediately. Like, they're trying. Like, they keep going.
Because they've had a couple of successes.
They have one success.
No, they also had Mythic Quest. That was like
no one watched
an okay
that.
success.
It's just me and you watched that.
Yes, but we really like it, and I'm glad they keep making it. So I'm saying it's a success.
No, I love Apple TV Plus. I love that they're giving people hundreds of millions of dollars for stuff that no one's watching. But that's my favorite thing.
They've had Apple TV Plus only needs a couple because they don't have the same infrastructure cost that Disney did.
They're spending a lot on this.
Just pulled the mic off the thing. But Apple is a tech company. They know how to build websites. They know how to build server infrastructure. They know how to make a company that does what a streaming service does. Disney had to learn all of that or buy people who do. Apple didn't need to do that. They just needed some cameras and some scripts.
All right. One last thing. ESPN launching their third streaming service in fall 2025. It's going to have all current programming on ESPN, plus content from ESPN Fantasy and ESPN Bet.
What is that?
So it's going to be the first time ESPN shows will be broadcast to non-cable subscribers. The ESPN offering will have many more features and provide a much more immersive experience.
Bet? Is that a gambling show?
That's like their gambling app.
They have a gambling app?
Yeah, everyone's got a gambling app now because sports gambling is like
gambling legal now. It was not legal before.
Congressional lobbying.
We gotta make that illegal.
You
Dude,
can't.
We gotta make
They're
that
gonna
illegal.
lobby Congress to
Dude,
making it illegal.
It is insane that you're just allowed to do that. That's crazy.
I mean, what are you gonna do about it?
Make it illegal.
How? The people who make stuff illegal are being lobbied.
Now this is never gonna happen if I say this, but if I ever become president,
That's never gonna happen.
Day one, boop, no more lobbying, illegal.
But someone will just lobby you to not do that.
You can't do that to me. I'm gonna be like, no.
But you'll be like, I do.
No, that's not how lobbying works. They spend the money on
I know. They'll be like, here's a plane trip to Cancun.
No, that's not how it works either. They spend money on doing research. And then they present you with a packet that says, our data shows if you give us $1 billion, 40% of Americans will vote for you. And then Mr. Senator goes, well, I do say I do like it when 40% of America votes for me. Here you go, Mr. Ford Motor Company, sir. And that's how lobbying works. They don't actually spend it on the congressman. They spend it on the research to get the data that says it'll be good for them to do this. Like, you make that illegal.
The government won't function without lobbying. It's never going to be a thing.
Most democracies don't have lobbying. It's illegal
We're
in
not
most
a democracy.
We're
a democratic, constitutional, representative republic.
Yes, and what do the members of the republic do?
Vote.
Yes, and which system of government does that?
Democracy.
Yes, so we're just a democracy with less
with
people.
More steps.
So shut up.
Anyway, that's all I have for news. All that news, so much news. What a time! What a world! I love how the news will be like nothing for several weeks and then they'll just hit all at once. I love it. I love how it always happens.
We need a Nintendo Direct so bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's not going to be anything at a Nintendo Direct. If
they'll have one big banger.
Metroid Prime 4. Got to get that one out.
I think we'll have one other game. I think it'll be Metroid Prime 4 and one other thing.
I don't think they have anything else. I think that the Switch is on its last leg.
I know, but we got to know what that last leg is.
It's Metroid Prime 4.
No, that's
it's a leg, and it says Metroid Prime on it.
That's the next console's first leg. We got to know what the Switch's
No, the next
console's
next leg is, it says Mario. It says big 3D Mario on it.
Oh, it's the Gen 5 remake.
Oh, yeah, they got to announce those.
But they do that on their own thing. Pokemon has their own
It's
thing.
usually like the day after a Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, they have like Pokemon Day, which is coming up actually. I have confirmation on when that is.
I'll play those ones.
I don't have the.
I have nostalgia for Unova, and that'll get me.
Hope they don't do what they did. Diamond and Pearl.
They will.
But they didn't do that with any of the other ones.
But this is the cheapest thing. Damn.
Opium. I'm huffing all the copium right now.
Sam is like the most pessimistic guy.
Oh yeah,
and then
there's some good stuff.
And then it comes to Pokemon, and he just huffs. He's the most optimistic, huffing copium all day. Like, no, it'll be really good this time.
Maybe they see Power World. They go, oh crap, someone made a better Pokemon game than we did. And then they have to try maybe a little bit.
I think the Pokemon Company sees Power World as nothing other than like a class action lawsuit.
They already outsold Scarlet and Violet.
They don't care.
They might start to care a little bit.
They genuinely don't care. I don't think they care at all.
I don't think they care yet. But I think like...
Also, Power World's going to be... There's going to be 10 active players in that game within 2 months.
I think if Power World like sticks around...
Which it won't.
It could.
It's a meme.
Even if 10% of its player base sticks around, it'll still be an okay...
guns. That's it.
You're not like... You don't pay attention
I
to
haven't played Power World, but I
I haven't played it either. But if you like look at the people who reviewed it, like it is actually a game. It's not just a meme. Like there is actually a game there. It wouldn't have outsold Pokemon if there wasn't a game there. No game sells that much as a meme. That's never happened. That's ridiculous.
I mean, I would argue that in a large part FNAF is a meme.
Yeah, now, but like when it came out, it wasn't. And FNAF has never had that kind of sales. What was I even saying? Right. Pokemon Gen 5 remakes gotta be good.
They're not.
Okay.
They won't. We're gonna buy them anyway. Why do we even talk about those?
One thing, Pokemon. I want one. I'm making one. I make a lot of, but I'm making another. Add the Black and White 2 content to the game. Don't do just straight up Black and White 1. Remember when they made those sequel games with like double the content in them? Don't do what Diamond and Pearl where you just remove all that. Don't do that. Please don't do that.
Would you take it as paid $40 deal?
Yeah. Just put all the content in the game.
All right, they'll probably do it if you're willing to pay for DLC.
They haven't released DLC for the remake.
I know, but they could. Nothing's stopping
They didn't even release DLC for Arceus, and like everyone wanted that.
Yeah, Arceus was like a weird thing.
Yeah, they were doing something good, and then they were like, okay, we did it too good. We're going back to sucking. Like, okay, cool, thank you. Awesome, love that.
Anyway.
Arceus runs well. Arceus runs at like 60 frames per second.
Yep.
What happened?
I don't know. All right.
Anyway.
We'll be back next week to talk about our most well, no, it's news. Madam Web comes out this week. Excited for that?
Oh, yeah. We'll do that.
Yay!
That movie. When does it come out? What day?
Wednesday.
See that on Friday.
Cool. Can't wait.
Love that time. Love
Madam Webuary. It's Madam Webuary.
Is Madam Webuary? Because it's, dude.
There's Madam Webuary. Monthbius.
We should have just one of us do the Madam Web review, and it's because the other one died in the jungle while researching spiders.
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye.